very good morning, you unbelievably beautiful souls. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards. Yes, I'm going to say it straight out. After the worst weekend of sport on record, I think, in my entire life, we are here. We're going to suck it up and we're going to delve into it. There are plenty of reasons to feel positive this morning, to feel overjoyed this morning. Why? Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? She is finally here.
I'm back.
After being gone for 1.5 years.
It was a long time. It was a couple of weeks. I'm sorry, but it's so nice to be back. It is really, really nice.
First of all, we are so proud of you for leaping into this new world of film. How was it?
It was crazy. Long days, and I think that was something I had to get used to, but it was such a cool project, and I think because you shoot everything out of sequence, I can't wait for the final product to see everything come together alongside with you guys.
Oh man, we're going to try so hard to get her to glean little bits of what went on there. I know that she is under strict laws of secrecy when it comes to a film like that, but we are so happy to have you back. You were missed. The viewers absolutely missed you. So we're going to have a very special day today. We're going to celebrate as only South Africans do, and we're going to invite the actual creator, the originator of National Braai Day in Jan Braai, and are going to be treated to, of course, the sweet vocals of one of our favorites, Vicky Sampson.
That's right. Well, what a show to come back to. And of course, there's someone else we need to say good morning to. Hey, Ra.
How was the sport, bro?
Good morning, Mzansi. Yes, you beautiful souls. Thank you for joining us at the start of the week. Oh, I'm so glad Zoe's back. Woo! Yes, our queen is here in the studio. Of course, we get so much time to share with her in just a bit. But before we do, we want to chat to you, Mzansi. It was a long weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. We were blessed with some incredible weather on Friday for our Heritage Day as well. And speaking of, that's the question we have for you this morning. We want to know everything about your weekend, how you had fun, and of course, what did you get up to on Heritage Day? Of course, we want you to come through on our social media channels. We got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Twitter, we live on YouTube, spreading our love across the world. And we want to know from you how you spent your time. Was it alone? Was it with loved ones? Or was it with anybody else that you just wanted to spend a good time with? We want to know. Come through and let us know, of course. I'm going to start kicking into the day, get my energy on, because we've got a lovely show lined up for you. But before we start into the magic, of course, as promised, Zoe Brown is back. Let's get some more of the news.
Thank you, Ral. Let's start off with your morning headlines. I'll start with national news. Today marks World Tourism Day, and celebrations in South Africa will take place in the picturesque town of Clarence in the Free State. The theme is tourism for inclusive growth. The tourism sector has been hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Tourism has developed a tourism sector recovery plan, which looks to preserve the industry's 189 billion rand and save as many as 125,000 jobs. The Minister of Tourism, Lindiwe Sithulu, is this week expected to release improved measures for the industry to operate safely during the pandemic. And staying with local news, 3 Durban beaches reopened on Saturday after levels of E. coli had improved considerably. A spokesperson for the eThekwini municipality said Addington, South and Ushaka beaches were now safe for bathing and other sporting activities. The city announced on Thursday that the central beaches had been closed with immediate effect in the interest of safety of residents and tourists. It said teams were currently hard at work on a malfunctioning sewer pump station that was constantly vandalized for scrap metal. We now move to news abroad, where Mali has asked private Russian companies to boost security. This as the Malian leader has accused France of abandoning the conflict-ridden country by preparing a large troop withdrawal. European countries have warned the Malian government against hiring paramilitaries from the controversial Russian Wagner group, as this would isolate the country internationally. But it's reported that Mali military-dominated government has chosen to hire 1,000 Wagner paramilitaries, saying its own capacities would be insufficient in the absence of external support. And we stay with news abroad. The Taliban has prohibited hairdressers in the Afghan's Helmand province from shaving or trimming beards, saying it breaches their interpretation of Islamic law. Anyone violating the rule would be punished, Taliban religious police say. Some barbers in the capital, Kabul, say they also received similar orders. The instructions suggest a return to the strict ruling of the group's past tenure in power, despite promise of a milder form of government. On Saturday, Taliban fighters shot dead 4 alleged kidnappers, and their bodies were displayed in the streets of Herat province. And next, we bring it a little bit closer to home. News of a pooch which may soon be taking flying lessons from Dumbo. She's a sweet, sassy, smart, and now a record-smashing pooch. 3-year-old Lou, a black and tan American raccoon hound from Oregon in the USA, earned a Guinness World Record when each of her ears was measured at 35.5 centimeters in length. Paige Olson, Lou's owner, says she has always joked that Lou's ears are extravagantly long. However, it was during the pandemic that she decided to measure them. The pooch's ears surprisingly do not require any special maintenance because of the length. Now, Lou's ears have also not led to any medical complications. Olsen says she checks them once a month for cleanliness, and also during winter she uses a snood or a little dog warmer for her ears to keep them from dragging in the snow. Olsen also says, and I quote, "Of course, everyone wants to touch the ears. They are very easy to fall in love with just in one sighting." Well, maybe Lou will soon be taking some flying lessons from Dumbo one of these days. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, on that very happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Here's a first look at the sport with Graham.
Thank you so much. So let's start with the local football, and we'll try to cast as wide a net this morning after such a plethora of sporting action this weekend. But as I said, starting here in South Africa, Mamelodi Sundowns get the bragging rights. They overcame Orlando Pirates 2-0 to go 2 points clear now at the top of the table after 5 matches. Peter Shalulile scoring both goals for Downs as they remain unbeaten in the league. Last season's runners-up, AmaZulu, they picked up their first win of the new season after edging Baroka 1-0 thanks to Bongi and Thuli's penalty. And SuperSport United, they are the closest challengers to the top spot. That's currently after beating Maritzburg 2-1. The winning goal coming in the 94th minute there. Then Kaizer Chiefs, they drew 0-0 with the Marumo Gallants to leave them 13th with just 1 win in 5 matches. Big news on the boxing front. Alexander Usyk ended Anthony Joshua's reign as world heavyweight champion with a unanimous points decision victory. Ukrainian triumphing 117, 112, 116, 112 and 115, 113 on the judges' scorecards of all 3 judges in just his 3rd bout as a heavyweight. So Usyk's victory also extended his perfect record as a professional to 19 wins now from his many fights, and also saw him become just the 3rd boxer in history after some pretty heavyweight names, Evander Holyfield of the United States and, of course, Britain's David Haye, to win both the cruiserweight and heavyweight world titles. But Joshua has a rematch clause in his contract with Usyk, and later did confirm that he would be taking it. Then on to a heavyweight showdown in cricket. All 4 teams in Pool A were in action yesterday as the Lions faced South Western District and the Northern Cape Heat. They were up against Western Province. We saw Ruan Haasbrook scoring 44 not out, while Luto Sipamla, he took 2 wickets as the Lions beat SWD by 4 wickets. Then Zubair Hamza, he was once again the stand-up performer for Western Province, scoring 62 at the top of the order to go along with the century he scored in the first match of the competition on Friday. Then Wayne Parnell back in the local fold. He took 3 for 30 as Province beat the Heat by 6 wickets. So Pool B action gets underway on Tuesday with the Knights up against the Titans. Then we can look forward to the Rhinos up against the Tuskers. Then news on the tennis front. Australian Nick Kyrgios said the Laver Cup was his last event this year and that he was unsure how long he would continue to play professional tennis. Playing for Team World at the men's team event, Kyrgios lost his singles match in straight sets to world number 3 and very much in form Stefanos Tsitsipas, then tasted defeat in the doubles later during the second day of competition. The 26-year-old, who is ranked 95th in the world at the moment, is among the few players in the world to beat the big 3, Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic, but hasn't found that form in quite a while. Well, we're going to delve a little deeper into all of our weekend sport and, of course, the Springboks performance in just a moment. But first, let's bring you up to speed with what's happening on the weather front.
Thank you so much, G. Now to take a look at the weather, and after spending a beautiful time in South Africa this weekend, maybe a little bit of a warning as the sun starts to shine. Now, Rand Water in Gauteng has announced the implementation of stage 1 water curtailments in an effort to slow the high level of water consumption. Now, it says the hot summer months present a persisting challenge where usage increases, and various factors associated with usage have put a strain on the water system. Now, Rand Water says South Africa is ranked as one of the driest countries in the world. However, the country continues to be amongst the highest consumers of clean water despite the limited availability of the resource. Now, Rand Water warns that the situation may worsen if consumers do not change their behavioral patterns and reduce the demand for water. And municipalities have been urged to immediately attend to leaks and manage the night flows through reservoir management protocols. Now, looking to our skies, we of course can't start the week off on the right note without sharing some of those stunning sunrise photos experienced by our beautiful viewers. And we're starting this morning off. This one is an exceptional one. It's from Avril Roberts Retief from Muizenberg, who captured this breathtaking photo overlooking the ocean, showing off incredible, beautiful views spread across the sky. Just look at that. And then next we venture all the way to further north up the coast to KZN, where Malt from Durban shared this absolutely great shot overlooking the Durban beachfront while enjoying the ocean view as the sun breaks through the cloud cover. Now, if you're lucky to be in the coast, you are absolutely blessed, because, oh, what a beautiful sunrise you can experience. And of course, Mzansi, keep sending in those pictures, because you make me smile as well as the rest of the country, and I can't thank you enough for that. But now to take a look at the rest of the temperatures across the country, we're starting off in Polokwane with a minimum of 13 and a high of 28 for the day. Mbombela starts the day on 17, moving up to 32. Pretoria, your day starts on a minimum of 17 and a max of 28 degrees. In Johannesburg, your day starts on 16, moving up to 26 degrees. Mahikeng, you got a minimum of 16 and a high of 31 degrees. Klerksdorp, very similar, with a low of 16 and a high of 32. Kimberley, your day starts on 13, moving up to a max of 35 degrees Celsius. In Bloemfontein, your day starts on 11, moving up to a scorcher at 33 degrees. In Richards Bay, very similar, with a minimum of 20 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. Pietermaritzburg, a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 38 degrees. What a scorch out there. In Durban, a minimum of 19, moving up to 32 degrees for the day. Mthatha also coming through with a hot one, a minimum of 14 and a high of 38 degrees for the day. And then in East London, your day starts on 15, moving up to 26 degrees. Cradock starts on 11, moving up to 35. In Mabega, you can expect some rain at 40% with a high of 21 and a low of 14 degrees. And in George, very similar, with a 59% chance of rain, with a high of only 17 and a low of 11 to start your day. And then in Cape Town, the day starts at 11, moving up to 18 with 20% chance of cloud cover or potential rain. And then in Worcester, a chilly 4 degrees to start the day, moving up to 20 Celsius and 40% chance of rain coming through for you. And then in Sutherland, nice and chilly to start the day at 3 degrees, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius, but you can expect predominantly sunny skies all the way around. And then last but not least, Uppington starts the day on 12, moving up to 32 degrees with sunny skies expected all the way around. Now, that's a wrap-up of the weather for this morning. Of course, we'll see you in the next hour just to highlight any more news when it comes to the weather, but highlighting something more important, especially the way we look in this weather. Here's G and Zoe. Let's check it out.
Oh, Raul.
Far more important, Raul.
You're spot on with that. And just listening to those temperatures, I think it's safe to say that we can look forward to some sun-filled, long, lazy days outdoors. It's certainly waiting for us, and they are calling for some summer-ready styles to make some new memories.
And I love a comfortable and a soft tee or a nice golfer. I've got a couple of these. Most of them in grey, so I'm branching out this morning. Effortlessly cool, I think. A nice, easy look. Orange slim fit golfer finished with some nice, innovative fabric treatment that it's going to keep it looking like this. Newer, fresher for longer, and paired with some classic basic chinos with a bit of a roll-up.
Can't go wrong with a beautiful
100%.
colour tee and golfer and some chinos. Now, for myself, I think I'm all set for summer, wearing this stylish matching set made from the softest, sustainable cotton fabrics. It is also very effortlessly chic, if I may say so myself, and I love this gorgeous print with this matching puff sleeve with a square neckline and also the cute high-waisted pants. It just screams, I can run into a meeting in this, I can go meet my friends for lunch.
Exactly, because it's quite chic.
For dinner with this.
It is. You can dress it up, you start it up really, really easily. Is it a film wardrobe? Maybe. Does it typify the character you were playing in the film? Maybe. It's a clue. I don't know. I'm dying to find out more. We just want to know. But the bottom line is you can refresh your summer wardrobe and get ready for the hottest months of the year with Woolworths. You can shop these vibrant styles at Woolies, available in-store, online, or on their truly amazing app. Go and check it out.
A promise to the planet, to tread lightly, to act with care, to think of the future, to appreciate nature, to shop more sustainably. Woolworths, the difference.
Oh, you can make my day.
Ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized, trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're just in time to chew on some of the gristle, the sporting gristle after a, well, pretty hectic sporting weekend. Let's be honest, it was another action-packed weekend of sports with the 100th Test match between New Zealand and South Africa, of course, going down to the wire and going the way of the All Blacks. Then Chelsea and Man City battled it out. Arsenal dominated Spurs in the Premier League. And, of course, we saw the return of F1 to Russia. Joining us now, Tanaka Mundwa, our sports anchor this morning, is going to talk us through all of the action. And if he can, answer for me this very important question. Tanaka, I hope you're doing well, brother. Why are we so emotionally invested in sport? Why is it so hard for us to watch sport like this weekend, man? How are you feeling about the overall performance of Team South Africa this weekend?
Listen, in terms of why we invested, I have absolutely no idea. It's not worth it. So anybody hearing the sound of my voice just know it's not worth it. But we love the games even still. For Team South Africa, disappointment, particularly this being Heritage Day weekend, all the celebrations on Friday, the 100th centenary test, and then for it to go like that in the last minute almost is disappointing.
Buddy, we feel for Franco Mostert. I mean, no one wants to knock it on and kind of be the figurehead of the failure. But the bottom line is the teams both maybe underperformed a little bit. They almost seemed to cancel each other out. We certainly didn't get an All Blacks team firing on all cylinders. Will Jordan getting a pretty amazing try there, showing his pace. But do we see this as a massive blow? Do we see it as a tightly contested affair? Sbu and Corsi getting, obviously, a bit of a bonus try there, capitalising on a mistake, a rare mistake from the All Blacks, but it was kind of error-ridden from both teams.
You know what? I'll say this, Graham. First and foremost, I think the Boks did well defensively. And I think that's for so long been the basis of any good Springbok performance. Just unfortunate, we've lamented this before on the offensive side of things. They didn't do the right things in the right moments. Coach Jacques Nienaber talks about the fact that they didn't show composure late on. The big moment was in the 76th minute. Andre Pollard gets the ball, cross kick, turns over possession, and from there we get into the penalty. They kick it. I mean, listen, the Boks were good defensively, and that's why this performance hurt. It's because so much of what they did defensively was undone by their lack of attacking impetus, and I think that's where the problems were and have been for the Springbok side. You get the sense that they're going to continue to play this way under the high ball, putting pressure through Faf de Klerk. Unfortunately, however, you could say in part, the All Blacks were very good under the high ball, particularly Jordie Barrett, who ultimately was the winner on the day with his boots. And
with his cannon of a boot that we're getting a taste of right now. He had his crosshairs in. Do we need a plan B? Because, yes, when it works, I mean, Eddie Jones pointed that out, that to beat South Africa when they're playing their strategy and doing it well, executing, almost impossible to beat. You know what they're going to do, but you still can't counter it. But when it's not working, when those kicks start turning over, and it felt like on net gain, we just were giving away the advantage with those kicks. Surely we need another way. Surely with the kind of pace and the attacking impetus we have in the backs, every now and then it would be great to see us just run the ball down the line.
It would be fantastic. Coach Jacques Nienaber, again, saying that they're not going to change the way they play. They've been successful doing that. And I agree with you. I think many a fan in the world and South African would love to see the Bok play a certain type of way. It doesn't always go that way. Look, when you win, you win, and it's great. When you lose, unfortunately, then you start to think, is there a plan B? Yeah. I don't think there is a plan B, to be honest, or not a plan B that we've seen, certainly in recent tests. I think South Africa will go with this strategy. And again, when it works, we're not asking for a plan B, and that's the nature of sports, right? You only need a plan B when plan A doesn't work. But unfortunately, the Springboks, and in this case, it didn't, and it hasn't worked against Australia either. You get the sense that maybe should we see them again play in this type of way when they play the All Blacks again, they will continue to go to the boots and be heavily reliant under the high ball. And we wait and see. I would love to see a change in style. I would really appreciate it, because I think the players are there. There were moments there with Damian Dialindi. There were moments with Lukhanyo Am. You know how mercurial Ngosi can be on the flanks, along with Makazole Mabibi. So there are the players there to play that type of way. It's not a lack of talent or lack in those positions. I just think
it's just the impetus behind it. Nevertheless, the All Blacks have it in the bag. Well done. They performed valiantly throughout the tournament. They earn it. And we'll move swiftly on. Let's hit the English Premier League very quickly now. Man City handing Chelsea their first loss of the season, and you could see how much that one in particular meant to Pep.
Yeah, that was a big one. I think it had been 3 on the spin across all competitions where Pep Guardiola had lost to Chelsea. And I think a lot of people had kind of put the Premier League already in Chelsea's hands off the back of the Chelsea, Liverpool, again, Manchester United potentially raise their game to a level of perfection and meet Manchester City, because that's what will be required, somewhere around 96 points to win the league on a consistent basis, which is unheard of in any of the other leagues across Europe. So I think Pep Guardiola needed that result desperately, and it showed in his celebrations. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, Chelsea don't have to beat Manchester City to win the league. We've heard it about Kaizer Chiefs here in South Africa, about them and that game that Sundowns notoriously struggling. And the truth is, they can still go on and beat everybody else. There are very few teams who are going to be as good against Chelsea as Manchester City were.
Yeah, no, completely. They've raised the standard. They have the depth in the squad. Let's close it off. Of course, Man United, they've now lost 3 of their last 4 matches in all competitions, surprisingly going down to Aston Villa, who played out of their skins. But lastly, of course, Arsenal had to leave it until an absolute derby to find some kind of form, thumping Spurs last night.
Listen, first and foremost, commiserations, Graham, because I know
Man,
where
it's
your
not,
allegiance
doesn't help, bro.
Listen, for Arsenal, they have this type of performance in them. This is not surprising. I think the only problem is, can they find this performance consistently? The project is alive. People say trust the process. I think this season in the transfer market, I was quite impressed with the business Mikel Arteta did to bring in younger players, unlike the season before where he was bringing players like Willian, signing players like Aubameyang on massive contracts who are way past 30 years old. There's a project now at Arsenal that you can believe in, I think. That result against Tottenham is harsh on Tottenham, but it's signs of the Tottenham at this moment. I mean, they're not a good side as things stand. I think Harry Kane still needs to get his head right about that move not having materialized in the off-season. Nuno Espirito Santo still needs to figure out what his best side is. There's dead weights in that squad for sure, and it showed against Arsenal. It could have gone either way, to be honest, that game. But I think right now, as we speak, Graham, I think the Tottenham job is the hardest job in the land, because you have a captain in Harry Kane who I don't know what his ambitions are at the club anymore. And then you also have a few holes across key areas of the field. And whether or not Nuno Espirito Santo has the trust of the fans to be given the time, and Daniel Levy the ownership as well, to turn it around after having come in as an 11th option into that squad, you don't know. But the truth of the matter is, it's ominous times indeed for Tottenham. You don't see where the breakthrough will come. And maybe fans just need to get realistic about the expectations for this season.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever, man. We're still going to take it. We're still going to win this thing. No, buddy, thank you for chewing through all of that sporting gristle. As I said a little bit earlier, of course, we haven't touched on it, but Lewis Hamilton winning the Russian Grand Prix this weekend as well. Wherever your allegiances lie this weekend, hopefully you were able to find some silver lining in all of the amazing sporting action. Thanking you so much for your time and your effort, Tanaka. I know you had a draw this weekend, so I'll give you a pat on the back for that one. Liverpool up against Brentford, 3-0 at Apps, or 3-all, a bit of a thriller there. But wherever your passions in sport are, hopefully you enjoyed the sporting weekend.
Whew, definitely some mixed results there indeed, especially for Liverpool, my team coming through with a draw there. But a range of mixed activities nonetheless. And if you are looking for victory, then the kitchen is where it's at this morning, and we're doing it with Jenny Morris.
Made with love by Clover.
Yes, Mzansi Heritage Day has come and gone, and you may have some, or maybe a lot of, delicious braai leftovers. I know I definitely do. So if you're looking for some fresh ideas on how to transform those leftovers into another meal, take inspiration from this. It's a fresh milk braai breakfast. A fresh milk braai breakfast bake. Jenny and I, we were trying to get it so right. I thought I nailed it.
All bees.
How are you doing this morning?
Absolutely fabulous.
Did you have a
darling.
good weekend?
I had a very good weekend.
Yeah.
I have no braai left because I'm a greedy girl.
Okay. I think because it was Friday and Friday, I think everyone had Saturday and Sunday
Exactly.
to make the most of it. But I
Yes.
think for the big families, there's definitely going to be leftovers. And I think with all the good weather coming through,
Totally.
Braai Day has just begun. I think we're going to replicate that into the summer.
I absolutely agree with you. So what I'm going to do is I've got in my pan some of these beautiful onions and some mushrooms, and you can
Okay.
see they're gorgeous. They're caramelized beautifully. You're going to cut some of that bread. You could use up the garlic bread
Oh,
that
if
you
there's
have
leftover,
left
because I
with-
know that's
yeah.
always a hot favorite.
know,
Unless,
totally.
unless the braaier burnt it, which is always a 50-50, I find, with a garlic roll. You just get those braaiers that have like the black bottom.
Black bottom, yes. Well, then that person never gets to braai again, trust me.
All right, so what am I doing with this? Cutting into cubes?
Yeah, what I would do is just cut 1, 2, 3, and then go across and cut some.
All right, and I would
that.
imagine again you could use any old roll for this if you don't have a garlic roll.
Any
right?
old roll, no,
Okay.
absolutely. It's a good way to absolutely use up dry stale bread.
Oh,
Got me
nice.
going now with this ba-ba-ba-ba-ba nonsense of yours. My little boy blue, come blow your horn, sheep's in the meadow and cows in the
I
corn.
like that as well. Just noticed that we've got a little bit of a blue. There's no blue Monday here apart from us, but
Yeah,
you've got the good
but
kind.
not a blue mood. We're
Yes,
happy.
yes, I love that.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to cut this down the center? as
Yes,
well?
please,
All right,
sweetheart.
got
And
you.
here I've got some pepper, black pepper, and I've got some salt. Just bear in mind that boerewors is salty, cheese is salty. I'm going to
Oh,
just...
yes, of course. And they've all been like spiced from the braai as well. It's got a lot of that
Absolutely.
flavor in.
Yes, so
you
just
don't need to
keep
do
it down.
much to it, right?
No, you don't have to do much at all.
Nice.
And chakalaka, I have some chakalaka.
Ooh,
Laka
now we're
chakalaka.
talking about
Yes.
the stuff that we all used to. I know South African Mzansi knows about, let's call it one of three things. The smoortjie, the smoortjie, or just
yes.
the smoor on its own.
Yes.
Whatever you call it, however you call it, it's good. And when it goes with meat, especially meat that's like a day old. I know that might not sound
More
great, but it's like
flavour.
more flavor.
More
It just
flavour.
makes that umaminess and that goodness come together. And oh, I am here for this.
Do you know
this is
what?
starting to remind me of like some of my meals I used to have at home.
I have a son
Yeah?
who, he's quite a finicky eater. I won't mention his name, Darren. But I had these like 16 loin chops left.
Yeah?
And I specifically made more.
Yeah?
And the reason for that was I wanted to have leftovers. So he said, Mom, could I have a chop? That child took the centre out of every one of those loin chops. 16, I won't tell him.
Just the center?
Because he doesn't eat fat and he won't touch a bone. Well, Harry got a good lemon bottom clap
It's
from
kind of
me.
like me right now. I've got like a week left till race prep, so I also like just steal all the good pieces of meat and leave the fat for my girlfriend. She loves it.
Jack Spratt could eat no fat and his wife could eat no lean. It's nursery rhyme day today. Give me your bread.
All right, here we are. Your cubes are all ready to go.
And then,
Nicely cut
sweetheart,
up.
all we do is I'll make this a little bit, it's almost like a French toast.
Oh,
and
okay,
a
I see what
frittata
you're
all
doing
rolled
now.
in
So you're
a
putting the
quiche
bread in
ball.
there?
Yes, and we just get it to soak, but I'm going to just throw a little bit of clover
Of course, I'm here
onto
and
that.
for the day. And while you're doing that, let me talk to
Exactly.
Mzansi about why you need to get involved in this. Now, Clover Fresh Milk, it's got you. There's superior qualities in every litre to help you give, and you and your family, nothing but the best. And what's better about it is that it's got this 18-day freshness, and that's from and thanks to the Triple Protect. And of course, it's a breakfast bake that we're using for this, and it's got all the typical breakfast ingredients. We've got eggs, but we're also adding that Clover Fresh milk, kind of just to bring it all together. You'll taste the creaminess, you'll taste the goodness in it from here. And paired with the chakalaka, just adds that tangy twist for one of the best Mzansi leftovers, especially after Heritage Day today. So you've put the bread in, I see the
Yes.
milk's gone in as well, and now
Yes.
you're popping in some
And
cheese.
some cheese.
Oh,
You've got to
no,
have a
you
cheesy
didn't.
roof. It's good.
That looks good.
And we've made one already, and now this is soaking up all that lovely clover milk. And I just let it
Yes.
soak it up. Or you could put the milk in with the eggs too if you wanted to.
Okay.
And let it just soak up beautifully, and then you pop it into the oven and you bake it till it puffs up. And it's all delicious and crispy and golden. And I have one over there, so either
I
mummy
see
can
you
dish,
got one over there, and I'm
or
thinking
you can dish.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, maybe not even boerewors. If you've got some extra chops, that would go
Delicious.
nicely in
Yeah.
there.
Steak.
Any meat, actually. I think
Yeah.
this is probably the best opportunity to make the most of those leftovers. Nothing must go to waste. Please, Mzansi, and if you are planning on throwing something in the bin, stop. Because the least you could do is give it to someone else in need, all right? Don't forget that. So you can head over to theexpressoshow.com to get this recipe. And of course, if you missed any of the steps, shame on you, but don't worry, Mzansi. Myself and Jenny got you covered, because here's a recipe recap. Enjoy.
Made with love by Clover.
welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us. Time to be inspired about a new season, about a new month coming, and it is, of course, October, which fills us with hope. That means the Hope-tober bus is back and making its way around South Africa, spreading love and hope across the country. We love it. This is the second year Adcock Ingram OTC are sponsoring this amazing initiative, and we can't wait to find out what they have in store for South Africa this year. Last year was a massive success, and we've got legendary vocalist and good friend of ours on the show, Vicky Sampson, with us. We've got the Sponsors of Brave spokesperson who is now a resident on this couch. She's actually, it's named the Nicole Kappa Couch now because she is here every second day, and we love her. And then, of course, we've got the co-producer of the Hope-tober bus initiative itself, Deborah De Souza, here to tell us more. Guys, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Nice to see you again, Graham.
Oh.
Thank you.
Welcome, and Zoe.
You were here to restore my faith in humanity after the weekend of sport that I had to endure. So your voice is that no pressure.
Oh, no.
But you carry the hopes of the nation.
You see, it's because I didn't sing there.
Oh. Well, Deborah, last year was a big year because you guys took the Hope-tober bus onto the streets to spread some hope and love. What was the reception like, especially from the healthcare workers, and what made it such a success?
I think what made it such a success was perhaps the artists performing on the bus, because the emotion, and Nicole can back me up on this, the emotion of those performers on the bus, spreading the message of hope, not only through song, but just their individual personalities and how they projected their belief in South Africa. And it just not only spread hope, but it just motivated our healthcare workers, and it also acknowledged them. And I think that was so touching for many of them. There were tears, they were singing along with us. I mean, it was so, when you can't really measure the success, but what we can do is we can see the love and the response that we got from the healthcare workers.
It's one of those initiatives where you get to see the power of it in the collective, but also in each individual that got touched by just that one moment. Maybe it was their tipping point. Maybe they'd worked a double shift. Maybe they were at breaking point. Maybe they just needed that one little positive, gentle nudge in the right direction, and then you get this positive punch coming through with these amazing performances, as you said. We thought that this year would be different, but it's been more of the same. If we had fatigue last year, man, are people suffering from COVID fatigue now. It's been the longest 18 months, I think, of most of our lives. Why Hope-tober 2021? What are you hoping to achieve this year?
Okay, well, always our objective is to share hope with South Africa. So we take that not only to the healthcare workers, but to anyone that might be at the hospital. And obviously that includes patients. And we just kind of think back to imagine lying in a hospital bed. You're on your own. You can't see anyone. You can't see your family. You're so isolated. What would pick you up?
Yeah.
Song. And what better way than from a bus, so we are COVID compliant. And that the voices are powerful, the messaging's powerful, and it just takes over the entire hospital. So we want to take that message and spread it further. And this year we're very pleased to say that we also will be visiting Durban, and that'll be on Thursday this week. So what we do is we incorporate visits to maybe 4 or 5 different hospitals in the different cities. So we'll be doing that. So tomorrow's Cape Town. We will be stopping by at 5 hospitals. Thursday we're on to Durban, and then next week we're on to Joburg on the 5th and Pretoria on the 6th. And who knows what happens for 2022.
Oh, very exciting.
Please, more
yeah. Well, Nicole, I know Graham's joking and saying you're a resident, but we love having you here on the show and love seeing you because you're doing such incredible work being spokesperson for Sponsors of Brave. What does it mean, you know, to be part of this initiative for you and for Adcock Ingram Sponsors of Brave?
I mean, if you guys think, what is the ingredient that South Africa needs the most? And it's hope. I mean, Sponsors of Brave has been showcasing and heroing champions of bravery for the last, now this is the 4th season, from medical professionals to our students and our budding interns in pharmacy and medicine, and most recently with the gratitude season, the pharmacists and pharmacies of South Africa. But now we're taking it so much bigger to the entire South African population. And if you think about it, you said it, we've just been through one of the darkest times in history, and now is the time more than ever to be able to spotlight bravery in the ordinary South Africans who are just trying to survive.
What does that mean, bravery? In the face of all of this now, because you've had a front row seat, I mean, you've been there meeting these incredible individuals firsthand and being forced to assess them so that you can kind of find winners within this amazing pool of South African healthcare workers, but also just South Africans. So what does that mean to be brave, do you think?
Well, first of all, that front row seat is such a privilege, and this Hopetober bus, to be able to witness these incredibly hard-working healthcare professionals and the patients just letting their hair down and celebrating some hope and celebrating one another, that's bravery. Bravery to step outside of your comfort zone and exist outside of your comfort zone. And often it's when there's no recognition, like our healthcare workers, and when you're adding value to other people's lives at your own expense. And that's really what Adcock Ingram OTC Sponsors of Brave wants to celebrate, is adding value to people's lives.
That's incredible. And it's so nice to also have you here, Vicky. I mean, as Deborah mentioned, it is the bus, it is the music, and music has a way of bringing people together. What does it feel like for you to be part of this Hopetober bus initiative?
Well, I think it's incredible that Alan Ford and I had started having a conversation some weeks ago, and then he spoke to me about the actual initiative and asked if I'd be keen, and I said, wow, absolutely. You know what African Dream means to me and to our nation, and like 26 years down the line. Also, the opportunity to actually go and interact with other artists on a show, for me, was just too hard to resist. And the fact that those are the people, the frontline people within our medical fraternity who get the least recognition, to go there and spread some joy, spread some hope, and also to the patients. Because as you said, Deb, you know, I can't imagine what it must be like to just be lying there and trying to find some hope, a reason to carry on. So God willing, that's what this actual initiative is doing. I'm incredibly overjoyed and humbled to do so.
I think it's about that watershed moment, and maybe we all need that, and your voice is certainly able to provide that. And you've been dying to have an audience, and now you get the best audience in the world. So appreciative. Deborah, how can we get involved? How can we support the cause? What do you need from us, the public at large?
Okay, well, we'd obviously like everyone to share hope, and by sharing hope, just the simplest of things makes a difference to someone else. So let's say you've parked at a traffic light and you see someone standing on the side of the road. Just a wave and a smile.
Respect.
Because that could influence that person's life for the entire day. And it's those small gestures, and just acknowledge other people and what they do in their kindness, and by that we'll grow hope together. And it's a people thing.
Yeah.
And we can only generate hope by being the generators ourselves.
Yep, one small act at a time. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I look forward to a little private performance that we're going to get, that you guys will also get, as the Hopetober bus makes its way from Cape Town to Durban, then Joburg and Pretoria. An opportunity for you to really just lift your spirit.
And Hopetober is all about spreading love and hope across the streets of South Africa. So make sure to catch the Hopetober bus in your city, and it will be in Cape Town tomorrow. So stay tuned, as we also have a very exciting performance, as we promised, from the legendary Vicky Sampson herself. She's here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
back. You are still live with your feel-good kickstart to a brand new week. Let's turn our attention to our skin, one of the most important organs in our body. In fact, it covers our entire body and we need it so much. Now more than ever, there is a focus on supporting and promoting the health of our skin. The skin is the body's first line of defense and that barrier to the world, if you will, and we need to better understand how we can protect it. And quite possibly the biggest, I think, aggressor is UVA radiation. And with this increasing number of skin cancer cases here in South Africa, this should be a priority and top of mind for all of us.
That's right. And joining us this morning to discuss skin health is skin cancer awareness as well. That's what we're discussing, and how to protect our skin. We can welcome Dr. Des Fernandez, founder and scientific director of Environ, who has been newly awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Skin Cancer Foundation of South Africa. That is incredible. And we are also joined by Cape Skin Director, Dr. Dermatologist. This is Dr. Nompelo Gancho. She also joins us this morning. And both of you extremely, instrument in the field of skin cancer and skin health. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Your skin looks amazing, guys. First of all, Doc, congratulations. Thank you very much. Delve into that in just a moment. An incredible achievement. I know you probably don't do it for the validation, but really amazing to have that. But Dr. Gancho, maybe I can start with you. What is the biggest misconception when it comes to skin cancer? What aren't we getting right?
I think most of the people are not aware that everyone under the sun can get a skin cancer. There's always that misconception that people with darker skin don't get skin cancer. So I think it's important that people need to understand that everyone under the sun basically can get a skin cancer.
Excuse the pun, yeah.
Dr. Des, I think a lot of people want to know, when should we start looking after our skin? I think a lot of people only focus on sunblock during summer, but when is the best time to start?
My personal view is this, that you should start soon after you exposed to the sun for the first time. So that's generally, for many people, it's, say, 3 years old, although as a baby I was exposed to the sun in a pram.
Yeah.
And we didn't have sunscreens in those days.
Yeah, no, it's something I'm probably a little freakishly hyper aware of. I've got a really young daughter, 1.5 years old, and we live in one of the most beautiful climates in the world, but we are constantly under the sun. So maybe let's get technical for a second here. What are the types of skin cancer, and what should we be looking out for if we're considering our own health of our skin?
Yeah, I think just to add something, we are looking at the sun, but some people are also prone to getting skin cancers. People with genetic disorders like albinism, xeroderma pigmentosa, and then people that have got a low immune system as well. People that are immunosuppressed do get skin cancers like HIV, and people that do organ transplant because of the medication that they take. And also some elements like arsenic can also do that. So skin cancers are very interesting. They are based on the type of a cell that they do get a cancer. So the most common one are non-melanoma skin cancers, which is a basal cell carcinoma, and then you get your squamous cell carcinoma, and then you do get the melanoma. So the non-melanoma ones won't kill you, but the melanoma is the one that spreads, and then that one can kill you. And then for immunosuppressed people, you get what we call Kaposi sarcoma as well. So.
All these big, scary terms.
Look, I did say please get technical, so I'll take it on the chin, yeah.
Dr. Gancho, what should we be looking out for? I mean, if I put lotion on my skin in the mornings, what should I observe that actually triggers, hang on, this is not normal, I must maybe go see a dermatologist?
So we talk about the sun, the UV rays. So what they do, they damage the DNA on your skin. So they make your skin to produce lots of free radicals. So now when you look at your skin, any ulcer, like sore that doesn't heal, you must be wary something is going on. Long-standing burns as well can do that, can tend to be skin cancers. And also we do ABCDE, basically any asymmetry on your mole, any borders that are irregular. C is any color change. So if your moles become darker or if they lose the color, it's a problem. And D, we say up to 6 millimeters is safe. And then E, if there's any evolution on your mole. So any changes that you notice on your mole, go and seek help.
So it's worth doing a check-in just every time you're putting on moisturizing, putting on the sunscreen, which I'm hoping we're going to do every day. I'm going to ask both of you, please, to stick around. Lots more to discuss in the space. Dr. Des, congratulations once again. An incredible achievement based on a lifetime of giving to everybody. So thank you so much to that. We're going to ask both doctors to stick around. We are talking about protecting our skin and skin cancer, yes, but what we can do in a preemptive way to look after something that is actually so important to us, as I said, the barrier to the world.
Yes, Sanjay, an important conversation, especially with the beautiful weather. And I know one thing that happened in that beautiful weather was us braaiing on Heritage Day. What a magic one it was. And I know if you've got some leftovers from that braai from the past weekend and are wondering, what on earth am I going to do with all these millies that no one got around to, then, well, listen up. Don't worry, because we've got you covered. And we'd like to inspire you with a quick and easy classic braai corn salad. It sounds delicious, but it's not just a salad. It's also got the ultimate chili lime mayo sauce. And of course, the beautiful, illustrious Jenny Morris is here for round 2 to show us how it's done. Show us what to do with our leftovers.
Such a charmer.
I'm just being honest.
Goodness. Thank you. You better tell the truth. Okay, so darling, you're going to do our lovely...
our little sauce. Okay, so we've got a nice here ingredient here. What are we adding to it?
You're going to put some zest into it.
Okay.
Yes, so you're going to zest that, the lemon into it. You could use lime as well if you wanted.
Okay.
To give it a little bit of depth and a little bit of chili. I like chili. It makes you all hot and it's full of vitamin C. And some sweet chili sauce. So we have the heat and we have the sweet.
Okay.
And then
nice.
for me, there's never corn left from my braais because I'm a millie muncher.
Oh, is it? I also love
it.
I get it stuck in my teeth. And in
Yes.
the family photos, you normally see these. It's not yellow teeth. I promise I brush my teeth. It's just corn.
It's better than spinach.
That is true. All right, let me get to this while you carry on. What
And I'm going to get to this. Here's a little tip. Once again, we were discussing that one child of mine he loves the onion flavor, but he doesn't like finding onion in things.
I'm starting to love this child of yours, by the way.
This child? I love him
Another
too.
crazy fact about onion. I was so freaked out this weekend. I gave my dog like some leftovers, but I always give him like good veg.
Don't give him onion.
I gave him a little bit of onion, Jenny.
I hope you did.
And the whole weekend, I'm just worried, like, is he okay? Is he painting? Because Google says some mad stuff about it. Zanzi, don't give your dog onion and a lot of garlic. It's
and no chocolate.
And no chocolate as well. It's literally very toxic.
Yeah.
So a little culinary tip of the day maybe as well come from Jenny and I. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
All right.
And then, because he likes the flavor of onion, what I do is I make it sweat. I make lots of things sweat. And I put the salt on it because it draws that beautiful onion syrup out of it and it goes into the potato salad.
Mix, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Oh,
so look, that already started sweating from that salt.
I gotta say something else is gorgeous is just starting my recipe with mayo.
Oh, yes.
Nowadays, I'm honestly loving it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've not been a big fan of mayo, but I've realized I'm starting to lose a lot of weight.
Yes.
It's got good calories in it. It's got some good fat in it as well, right? So it's a classic mayo available in 3 levels of tanginess. We've got mild, medium, and strong. I know Clem is all about number 3.
Strong, baby.
He looks for the number 3 because that's the strong one. And Zanzi, if you're looking for the same thing, then you can check the numbers. It's a great way to see that strength. And it's a great way to see what you're going to be using for your recipe. For us, we're going for number 1, I believe. Yes, we're going for number 1. It's mild and creamy. Yeah, you've got to start somewhere. But let me not distract you anymore because Jenny's got a rainbow of flavors she's doing. And I've still got to get my zest on over here. So let me get to it.
There we go. And you have to eat in rainbow. And we've got these tomatoes. You know what I like? I don't want to cut them into little small pieces.
Okay.
Because I love to just squish them in my mouth, that lovely juiciness. And I even leave a couple whole. Do you know that?
That's true because literally what I'm looking at right now is, and it sounds weird, but I love this, a crunchy salad. Not a soggy one, not a mushy one that kind of just turns into like somewhat of a soup. No. This is what I want, fresh, live, crunchy, and of course with what I'm doing here to make this a little bit more creamy, it's going to be a good one.
Put enough mayonnaise in there for me.
I got 4 good old dollops just
Big
for
dollops.
you. Yes.
When they say a tablespoon, I always go heaped. Now I've got all these beautiful flavors, the crunchiness from the corn, the freshness from the cucumber.
Yeah.
I love the onion. Definitely, I can't have a dish without onion. And the tomato, beautiful and juicy, and the lovely saltiness that we have here from the feta. And this is going to just fix this and finish it beautifully. You could also add some herbs here if you wanted to. You could put some coriander, some parsley, some fresh basil.
You've almost ticked, if it comes to like flavor profiles and sensations for something that you're craving, you literally ticked almost every single box here.
Every box, and it's like you're eating a rainbow. I think you got more than your 5 a day here. No, if you haven't, I can't count. So, too bad.
I'll take it though. You're just missing a little leprechaun at the bottom there.
There's some leprechaun colours in here.
Guess what we did have at the end of our rainbow?
Yes.
Gold. I'm standing right next to it.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
As long as you're putting a golden oldie, I'll smack you with my...
Okay, well, this is smelling good. It's looking good as well. This is something that I would almost use in more than just this recipe.
Yes.
It's really something I could put into like a meat or anything else, right?
Beautiful on a burger.
And is that as simple as that?
It's simple as that.
Voila, less than 5 minutes.
Your mayonnaise spoon.
You're preparing a bowl just for me. Thank you so much, Jenny Morris. Of course, Mzansi, we're having so much fun in the kitchen. I forget that we're actually doing a cooking show here. But if you are still trying to get a wrap on the recipe ingredients, don't worry. We got you covered because you could head over to the expressoshow.com with a step-by-step guide to everything that you need to get your crunchy salad on. And of course, don't forget our hero ingredient. Enjoy. Yum.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy, the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Yes, we are celebrating today. I don't know why. Maybe the start of a new week, maybe a joyous long weekend, maybe just still reveling in our heritage. And a big part of that for me has been Vicky Sampson performing one of the greatest songs that the country has ever produced. And she's going to be doing it just for you. My African Dream is on the way.
Filling the soul and filling the belly. Of course, we've got some food coming up. But before that, let's find out for the wrap-up of the news with Zoe. Let's check it out.
Thank you, Raul. I'll start with your national headlines. Deaths attributed to COVID-19 have decreased significantly, with only 51 people succumbing to the COVID-related complications since the last reporting cycle, while less than 1,000 infections were reported in the same period. Meanwhile, provinces are warning residents about complacency as the long weekend ended, with school holidays just a few days off. This comes after the Health Ministry said just under 30,000 people have been jabbed in the last 24 hours reporting period, which is still far below government's target of vaccinating 300,000 people daily. And staying with local news, today marks World Tourism Day, and celebrations in SA will take place in the picturesque town of Clarence in the Free State, with the theme being Tourism for Inclusive Growth. The tourism sector has been hit hardest by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Tourism has developed the Tourism Sector Recovery Plan, which looks to preserve the industry's 189 billion rand and save as many as 125,000 100,000 jobs. The Minister of Tourism, Lindiwe Sisulu, is also this week expected to release improved measures for the industry to operate safely during the pandemic. And moving to news abroad, Iceland yesterday made history by becoming the first European country to elect a female majority to parliament. 52% of the 63 seats were won by women. This marks an increase in 9 from the last election in 2017. No other European country has breached the 50% threshold, with Sweden coming close at 47%. Iceland has long been considered a leader in gender equality, and earlier this year was ranked the most gender equal nation in the world for the 12th year running in a World Economic Forum report. And staying with news abroad, Mali has asked private Russian companies to boost security. This as the Malian leader has accused France of abandoning the conflict-ridden country by preparing a large troop withdrawal. European countries have warned the Malian government against hiring paramilitaries from the controversial Russian Wagner Group, as this could isolate the country internationally. But it's reported that Mali's military-dominated government is close to hiring 1,000 Wagner paramilitaries, saying its own capacities would be insufficient in the absence of external support. And now for some news from the world of entertainment. Some 60 artists took part in the Global Citizen Festival, which kicked off on Saturday across 6 countries. In fact, 6 continents. Now, the show, believed to be one of the largest ever international charity events, was organized by Global Citizen, a charity working to end extreme poverty by the year 2030. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. A final update coming your way at 8 o'clock, but here's another look at your sport with Graham.
So let's focus on some of the sport that didn't break my heart this weekend. Of course, some of those highlights that we didn't cover in our weekend sports review. Let's start with local football. Mamelodi Sundowns, they overcame Orlando Pirates 2-0 to now go 2 points clear at the top of the table after 5 matches. Peter Shalolile scoring both goals for Downs as they remain unbeaten in the league. In last season's runners-up, Amazulu, they picked up their first win of the season. That was after edging out Baroka 1-0 thanks to a Bongi and Tuli penalty. And Supersport United, probably the closest challenge to that top spot at the moment. They beat Maritzburg United 2-1. The winning goal coming in the 94th minute there. And then Kaizer Chiefs, they drew 0-0 with Marumo Gallants to leave them now 13th with just 1 win in 5 matches. Then big news on the boxing front. Alexander Usyk, he ended Anthony Joshua's reign as world heavyweight champion with a unanimous points decision victory. The Ukrainian triumphing 117 to 112, 116 to 112 and 115 to 113 on the scorecards of all 3 judges in just his 3rd bout as a heavyweight. In fact, Usyk's victory also extended his perfect record as a pro to 19 wins from as many fights, and also saw him become just the 3rd boxer in history after some heavyweight names, Evander Holyfield of the United States and Britain's David Haye, to win both the cruiserweight and heavyweight world titles. But Joshua has a rematch clause in the contract with Usyk and later confirmed that he would indeed be taking it. Then on to local cricket. All 4 teams in Pool A were in action yesterday as the Lions faced the Southwestern District and the Northern Cape. The Heat, they were up against Western Province. So Rowan Haasbrook scoring 44 not out, while Luto Sepamla was the pick of the bowlers, taking 2 wickets as the Lions beat SWD by 4 wickets. Then Zubair Hamza was once again the standout performer for Western Province, scoring 62 at the top of the order to go along with the century he scored in their first match of the competition on Friday. And Wayne Parnell back in the local fold. He took 3 for 30 as Province beat the Heat by 6 wickets. We can look forward to Pool B action getting underway on Tuesday with the Knights up against the Titans, and then the Rhinos, they take on the Tuskers. Then on to tennis news. Australian Nick Kyrgios said the Laver Cup was his last event this year and that he was unsure how long he would continue to play professional tennis. So playing for Team World at the men's team event, Kyrgios lost his singles match in straight sets to world number 3 and very much in form, Stefanos Tsitsipas. That tasted defeat in the doubles later during the second day of the competition. The 26-year-old, who is ranked 95th in the world at the moment, is among the few players in a very short list who have been able to beat the big 3 of Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic. If you missed any of those details, we'll touch on them again at 8 o'clock right now. Ryle is standing by with the latest on the weather front.
Thank you so much, G. Now, to start off this weather, we are moving to our African brothers and sisters, which are doing something inspiring. And thanks to some striking ingenuity, a team of Kenyan scientists, come entrepreneurs, have devised a method for turning dirty diapers into fuel. How incredible is that? Now, it's also lowering carbon dioxide emissions by 76% compared to kerosene and charcoal. Now, this resourceful invention previously bagged Leafy Life a first prize in the No Waste Challenge. Now, this is a global competition where innovators had to submit innovative solutions to reduce waste and to rethink the entire production and consumption cycle. Now, one of the 3 Kenyan founders of Leafy Life, Peter Gachanja, says they were inspired by learning that dirty diapers ended up in landfills, taking some 500 years to decompose. Now, mindful of the harmful ecological consequences of dirty diapers, the Kenyan trio sought to turn these unwanted discards into something useful. Now, the chemical process they used to break down refuse and turn it into a fuel is also economically feasible, as it uses significantly less energy and water than most chemical processes. Definitely something to get excited about. Now, of course, moving on, we love this initiative and many more like it, and any kind of difference in looking after the environment gets a massive thumbs up from us here at the Expresso family, just like your sunrise photos too. Now, kicking us off this 7 a.m. update is Barbara Ann Hall from Constantia, who captured this breathtaking shot overlooking the area while showing off the stunning colors scattered across the sky. Just beautiful indeed. And then coming up next, Razine Pandi from Mabeka took this absolutely beautiful silhouetted shot as the new day begins. I don't know what it is about these pictures, but it just gets me excited for the day and for the week, and we can't thank you, Mzansi, enough for sending it through, because you're getting us inspired. Now, to take a look at the rest of the temperatures across the country, starting off with Polokwane, you got a low of 13 and a high of 28 to start the day. Mbombela starts the day on 17, moving over to 32 degrees. Pretoria, your day starts at 17, moving up to 28. In Johannesburg, a low of 16 and a high of 26 degrees. In Mahikeng, your day starts on 16, moving up to 31 degrees. And then in Klerksdorp, very similar, with a low of 16 and a high of 32 degrees. And then in Kimberley, your day starts at 13, moving up to a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. With Bloemfontein, very similar conditions, with a low of 11 and a high of 33 degrees. In Richards Bay, your day starts at 20, moving up to 34 degrees Celsius. And then in Pietermaritzburg, your day starts at 14, moving up to a scorcher at 38 degrees for the day. And sunny skies can be expected all the way around. And then in Durban, your day starts at a minimum of 19, moving up to 32 degrees Celsius maximum. Mthatha starts at 14, moving up to another 38 degrees scorcher. East London, your day starts at 15, moving up to 26 degrees. And then in Cradock, 11 is your minimum with a high of 35 degrees. A little bit of a change in Mabeka, with your day starting at 14, moving up to 21 with 40% chance of rain coming through. And George with a 59% chance of rain, a minimum of 11 and a high of 17 degrees. In Cape Town, your day starts at 11, moving up to a max of 18 with a 20% chance of cloud cover and potential rain. And Worcester, a low of 4, nice and chilly to start the day, moving up to only 20 degrees Celsius. Sutherland, very similar, with the chilly, or the coldest start of the day at 3 degrees, moving up to 20. And last but not least, Uppington starts the day at 12, moving up to 32 degrees. An incredible achievement nonetheless. And speaking of achievements, we've got something to celebrate right now. Let's check this out.
That's right, Raul, and just listening to your weather report, those high temperatures coming through, bless you.
Spring is clearly here.
Spring is here and summer is around the corner. Well, earlier we were talking skin health and skin cancer awareness with Director and Scientific Director of Environ, Dr. Des Fernandez, as well as dermatologist Dr. Nompelo Gancho. So, of course, we also have a very special award to hand over.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning and spreading the good will. We know that we experience, obviously starting to experience some pretty hot temperatures, but we have a very high UV here, which means we have a high incidence of skin cancer, which makes the work that you do, Dr. Des, so vitally important, and it has not gone unnoticed. So we announced a little bit earlier that you are a recipient of the first ever Lifetime Achievement Award from the Skin Cancer Foundation of South Africa. So we've asked the lovely Dr. Gancho if she could help us out with a very special handover. It looks like the Wimbledon trophy, which is the first thing that jumped to mind for me. Dr. Des, congratulations. I know you don't do it for the validation, but you're receiving the validation from your peers, from the people who I think rely on the body of work that you have spent a lifetime developing and growing. How does it feel to be recognized in this way?
Well, strangely enough, when I started, it was for melanoma.
Really?
Yeah, two people, a young guy and a young girl who got melanoma. And that moved me tremendously, and that's why I started to research to try and see, could we prevent this? And I didn't succeed. But we took big steps towards helping people with skin cancers.
I would imagine there are many people out there that literally owe their life to you. So thank you so much. And Dr. Gunter, thank you for being a part of this process. Congratulations. Where are you going to put it up?
I'll find a good place.
Put it in your bedroom so you can see it. Every time you wake up, you can see it and be reminded. But congratulations once again. Ladies, I know the work is not done for the validation, but I know there are many, many people out there, Zoe, yourself included, who have, I think, literally relied on this product. So congratulations once again to Dr. Des for a lifetime of service to others, an incredible achievement, certainly even more so being recognized by your peers in this space. So congratulations from our Expresso family and your medical family. You certainly are appreciated. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Every time you brew a cup of reviving Origins coffee,
you're restoring land,
empowering farmers, and supporting livelihoods.
So every sip touches hundreds of lives.
And offers an inspiring taste experience in return.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. And you know what? We started the long weekend off with the celebration of Heritage Day, an occasion to come together and really honor the cultural diversity that makes South Africa so unique. Now, another occasion that brings people together is a good braai. And since 2006, chef and entrepreneur Jan Braai has encouraged people to bring the two together in celebration of National Braai Day. Now, Jan is joining us on our Feel Good Breakfast Show couch to talk about his Heritage Day and, of course, National Braai Day. How was your Braai Day this past weekend?
Absolutely wonderful. Of course, it started with a bit of panic buying on Thursday.
Okay.
panic buying was real for me this year. I genuinely didn't need it, but I bought an extra 2,000 pieces of Rooikrans wood on Thursday just to be sure.
Just to make sure you have enough
so
fire.
I can now identify with that panic buy feeling.
Look, Jan, it's an absolute honor to actually officially meet you. I've heard about you. Every time I mention a name, like I said earlier, you make people in Mzansi hungry. But I think just to bring it back for everybody that is living under a rock, that doesn't know anything about you, for a good couple of years now, I think since 2006, you've been an advocate for Braai Day. What was the actual reason behind that, apart from just creating amazing gears? What was the real incentive behind that and the initiative for Braai Day coming from you?
Yeah, well, our country has this public holiday to celebrate our heritage.
Yeah.
Now, South Africa has a rich and diverse heritage, but we've got one common heritage, something that transcends racial and political and geographical and even what sports team you support, and that is to unite around fires. So at its essence, National Braai Day is about social cohesion and nation building. It's not about who braais the biggest steak or who can eat the most braai breekies, although I'm quite good at eating a lot of braai breekies.
Challenge accepted, Mzansi.
I hope we're making braai breekies on the show today.
We're actually doing burgers later because I know we're doing indoors, so I designed a little menu that we can sort of, for the person that lives in a flat and wants to spiritually take part in the braai action but doesn't have the ability to now make a big wooden fire. But at its core, Braai Day is about making big wooden fires, uniting around those fires, sharing and celebrating our heritage, because we're not going to actively celebrate our heritage in shopping malls or listening to political speeches, with all the respect. And thirdly, so unite around a fire, share and celebrate our heritage, and wave our beautiful national flag. That is the core of National Braai Day. It's what I've been advocating for the past 17 years, and I think it's just obviously heartwarming how the public, the media, and also retailers have bought into the concept, because you need all three. You need the media like you guys to spread the message, you need the public to actively partake in it, and you need the corporates to jump on the bandwagon in a positive way to help me spread the message.
So job well done then, I think, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I look forward to Heritage Day because I know it's National Braai Day for South Africa.
I hope that our kids can one day look back at how big Braai Day was now and think of how it is now as small, and that it truly becomes South Africa's National Day of celebration, similar to St. Patrick's Day for Ireland or Thanksgiving in the US, where it's a South African-themed celebration, but it actually gets global attention.
Yes.
And it's the day, 24 September every year, where the whole world actually focuses positive attention to South Africa. And we're not this country with problems at the southern tip of Africa. We're this crazy country where the whole nation braais.
Yeah,
I'm
couldn't
pretty
agree
sure
more with that, eh?
From space, they saw all the smoke from everyone's fires, you know?
Exactly, and remember that smoke is positive smoke, because mostly in South Africa we're braaiing with alien vegetation, so it's actually good for water shortages and stuff to braai with stuff like rooikrans and wattle and blue gum.
Oh. Incredible. Well, Jan, you not only host your National Braai Day, and I know leading up to Heritage Day and National Braai Day, there's always a tour involved. Now with the pandemic, things were a little bit different, but what other events have you been hosting or are you always part of that involves some braaiing?
As you say, with the pandemic, big events mostly came to a standstill. However, similar to some, and I say this, so take it with a pinch of braai salt, we're almost similar to some tourist organizations, terrorist organizations, because Braai Day and braaiing is a completely decentralized thing. It happens in clusters, at homes and in parks and in gardens. So it's really about making fires with friends and family. At its essence, Braai Day is not about 1 million people in one sports stadium. It's about 5 or 10 people, but times 1 million across South Africa. So in that way, we were always ready for the pandemic. And that's why I don't think on a pure numbers basis it impacted us at all. In fact, I think Braai Days, that's the reason why it was also so big this year, is people are actually at home, outdoors, busy braaiing, also with home jobs or working from home. You're not sitting in traffic at 5 o'clock. You can actually light the fire, have your last Zoom meeting, and then braai at 6 for dinner. So braaiing is, it's always been huge in South Africa, but I think it's bigger than ever before. I'm not complaining about the events that, it's obvious that you can't have big events at the moment, but I think in terms of pure numbers of people braaiing, completely unaffected. So as with a lot of businesses, we focused a lot of attention on online and social media. Unfortunately, I mean, we all know this. This pandemic happened 20 years ago. We didn't have Facebook and Instagram, but now with Facebook and Instagram, there are so many opportunities to still
have a virtual bride
and yeah, be completely in touch with everybody.
Look, Yanni, there's so much to talk about when it comes to the braai. Of course, you are going to be getting a little bit of a taste of you in the kitchen, and we also want to talk about one of your specialties with braai. We're speaking about the potjie. You've got some incredible sauces coming out that we want to mention, but we've got a little bit of time to chat to you a little bit later, so we'll dive deep into that because I'm so excited. I can't wait for it. And before we get into it, here's G to just round up another one. It's the news coming at you, and well, sorry, not the news. It's another little segment, but yeah,
good news.
Stick around. It's good news.
It is good
Stick
news.
around because, of course, Jan is coming at us with something special in a bit.
Can I first send out a very special thank you to the Herselman family, because I got to use a binne braai for the first time this weekend, a braai inside the house, and it was amazing, and they let me be braai master just so I could save that moment. So thank you, Herselman's Braai. Love you, Guy. But of course, plenty of reasons to celebrate. Some very good news coming away. Last week on the Insider South Africa, Vodacom gave away 5 Batu sneakers, pairs of the most beautiful locally made, proudly locally made shoes. And this morning, we are very thrilled to be announcing those very fortunate winners who went on to the Insider's South Africa's social media pages and were brave enough to enter. So congratulations to the following amazing people: Vicky Denise Chili, to Linda Andrews Lang, to Siobhan Chevy Poole, and then a big congratulations to Tina Motloang Keriboni Maroke. You are all going to be savoring some amazing new shoes. Enjoy your sneakers. Now you really can experience and unlock more with Vodacom Red. So this week on the Insider SA, you yet again have another chance to win. You stand a chance of winning another one of those 10 gig data bundles courtesy of Vodacom. To enter, what you've got to do is find the Vodacom post on the Insider South Africa social media pages, and then simply comment on the post telling us a benefit you would enjoy experiencing with the new Vodacom Red plans. We've spoken a lot about them. The new Vodacom Red plans include Red Flexi, Red Core, and then Red VIP. Each one of those plans coming with a range of benefits and rewards to experience and unlock more. And you can find out more about all of the new Vodacom Red packages by watching the Insider South Africa this evening at 5:30 p.m. right here on S3 as we meet up with Dr. Sibu, a medical doctor and a digital health innovator. The Insider SA meets up with him and finds out a little bit more about how he uses the benefits of being a Vodacom Red VIP for travel and even those everyday experiences. They add so many layers to life. So go on, watch the show tonight at 5:30 p.m. as I said, right here on S3, and then you head over to the Insider SA pages to enter, and you could be one of those 10 lucky people winning a 10 gig data bundle, so you really can experience Red and unlock more. That competition closes on Saturday at midnight, but as always, you can find the terms and conditions on theinsider.co.za.
Well, listen, we have a busy show for you. Jan Braai is in studio now. Generally, when he's in the studio, we can't let him not cook something for us. Now, can't have a fire for you, but I have a flame on the gas stove here.
Yes.
Is that good enough?
Well, usually gas is obviously Afrikaans, gas, for the person that comes to your braai, but
true.
in studio, not a problem. So I think we've got about 5 minutes, so we're going to start with the relish. We're doing smash burgers today.
Smash burgers.
So you want some oil in the pan, and then you want to brown, like your surname.
Yes.
You want to do that with the
Get
onions.
Golden brown.
Yes, exactly, like that.
I'll help you
Starting with
here.
that, you can slice the rolls. So we've got three heat sections there on our makeshift braai. We've got the onion part. There we're going to do the patties, and over there we're going to slightly toast the rolls.
Okay, I've got your rolls ready sliced
that we can do at the end. Then we've got some mince there, lean beef mince you want. Where can we...
I'll be your little sous chef.
Yeah, and then we can divide this in like 4, and we can spice it with salt and with pepper. So this is lean beef mince.
I feel like you're the expert to ask. So what is the secret to being able to eat at 7 o'clock at night when you braai? Because my family always has a braai and we always eat at 9, 10, 11. And it's just like, why? We're all hungry and kwaad.
So the trick is, it's a single word. It's called atmosphere. And the trick is to do the atmosphere part of the braai after you've eaten, not before.
Okay, so atmosphere.
Atmosphere, you want to light the fire, the braai fire, you want to light at 6 o'clock. On average, a fire takes about 45 minutes to convert itself into usable coals, and then you can braai at, say, 6:45, and the food will be done at 7. Look at us, we're going to cook all of this now in 5 minutes.
Look at us.
So that's entirely possible. Then after you've had dinner, that's when you add more wood, and then you get to the atmosphere. So here we have now obviously some Zoe browned onions, and then you add some Jan Braai sauce.
The perfect
so then
combination.
your Jan Braai sauce and your Zoe brown onions, they're just going to combine.
Oh,
that will be our relish. We can, I don't actually know how gas braais work.
So
but
what do
we
you
can
want to do?
well,
Just turn it down a bit? It's over there.
Down.
There we go.
go.
There we go. Get to control it a little bit more.
Like
so this
that.
is perfect, like you said, for the individuals that doesn't have access to an outdoor braai. This is a delicious meal that they can make from the comfort of their own home. I know Raul earlier mentioned
Yes.
potjie course, and we're focusing on the smash burger here. But what is the secret to making sure your spices are balanced for your
For the potjie sauce.
For your potjie.
So this is the Jan Braai sauce. For the potjie, you need the Jan Braai potjie sauce. Of
Okay,
course,
okay.
That was my big project during lockdown last year. So that's just a bit of onion. That's where we're going to do the patties. So for your potjie, what I did during lockdown is I thought, what value can I add? Because I'm not braaiing with people, so I was braaiing on my own the whole time, but making a lot of potjies and saying, how can we make this easy? So now what you need if you want to do a potjie is you're just doing, I think that pan
We can
just
just
take
do
two.
those two.
So now we just, so that's why we're calling it smash, because now we're just smashing that mince into the pan like that.
Oh, that looks good.
So the potjie sauce, you start with meat, salt and pepper on the meat, exactly like we did here. Olive oil in your potjie, and you add an onion. So it's just the onion, the meat, salt and pepper. You brown that again, so you're featuring a lot. And then you're adding vegetables and your potjie sauce. Now, the potjie sauce contains all of the spices as well as the liquid that you need, because we don't want to make soup and we don't want it to burn. And that's, so the two tricks with the potjie is, of course, not too much, not too little water, and the right amount of spices. And this pack of sauce was designed to do exactly that. And
So
then
you
you're just
make it
simmering.
easy.
That's it.
There's no way you can flop a potjie if we
Not
make
that-
use of our
no.
Jan Braai potjie sauce.
Not that people that are braaiing are generally fools, but this is an absolutely foolproof way of making a potjie. Now, when we think it's sort of brown on, see, that's exactly what you want.
That is what we want. That
Then
looks
you
good.
flip it around like that. Now you can start.
We're going to
I'm
toast.
browning the
Yes,
toasting
please.
the rolls like
See, this is my role in the kitchen. It's just to stand, enjoy, and taste.
exactly. Yeah. Then we put some cheese on top of the
Oh, fabulous.
patties like that. The heat will melt the cheese. And then you wait another 2 minutes because of this technique where we sort of press the meat right into that extremely hot cast iron pan. It takes quite quick. So 2 minutes on the one side, 2 minutes on the other side. It's fresh lean beef mince, so you don't need to overcook it at all. And then you can just build your burger.
Oh, it looks and it smells incredible. Now, you've been talking about all your incredible sauces. Where can we get that?
In all major retailers is the
fabulous.
answer. I don't think
There
we
we
have to
go.
go into names. And
Now-
also that big online one that starts with the T.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
where you get everything
many things.
delivered.
Yes,
Of
lots of
course.
things that you can take. It's also there.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. We'll do a lot of that. And of course, if you want to get your hands on this delicious smash burger recipe, we have it for you on expressoshow.com. We do have the finished ones there. I don't think there's a polite TV way to eat a burger.
Well, see
you're-
how quick and easy it is your wonderful food stylist, you should definitely get a raise, obviously pre-made one, but we even finished our own fresh one here.
Oh.
So the behind-the-scenes crew can obviously have the
There we go. Well, listen, we're
pre-made
having
one.
burgers
There we
for
go.
breakfast. If you want to get your hands on Jan Braai's delicious recipe, just head on over to our website. That's expressoshow.com.
for staying with your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso here on S3. Open up to some inspiring content. When beloved American musician Paul Simon released his iconic 7th studio album, Graceland, 35 years ago, can you believe it? It was instantly recognized as a powerful stand for hope that touched many hearts across the globe. Now, foregrounding the work of Ladysmith Black Mambazo, one young boy who was forever impacted by their music was Jeremy Loops. And fast forward to today, Jeremy has achieved a dream of making music with the iconic choral singing group as they released their upbeat single, This Town, last week. It's all the hype at the moment. We love it. And Jeremy, along with Ladysmith Black Mambazo founder Joseph Shabalala's son, Sbong Shabalala, joins us here on Expresso via video call to share all of the excitement. Jeremy and Bab Shabalala, good morning. Woohoo! Good morning. That is it, right? I mean, Jeremy, this is such an exciting time. Your plans for 2020 included dropping a new album and going on tour, which didn't go ahead, obviously, because of, COVID-19. But what did having to change your plans to do your creative process, did it lead you down this path to this dream come true collaboration?
I suppose so. I don't think we would have got to this point and made this song together if it wasn't for everything that happened with the lockdown and just a global pandemic causing such a crisis. Yeah, the music world has just been upside down. We had a lot of plans. So I've been writing full-length album. Like you say, we were going on world tour. I know Ladysmith have a very busy schedule of their own. And that all just came crashing down for all of us. So yeah, it forced me into a position of having to relook at my time and my energy and how I was spending it, and go to work on doing something meaningful and interesting and local, because I wasn't able to move around and go and tour and do some of the things that we had planned.
Big disruption, right? But Sbonga, you were then approached by Jeremy with the song, which he sort of, created with the group's signature sound. How do you think that his intimate familiarity with the music helped with this particular assignment? How did it all come together with what you added to achieve the final track?
Jeremy's love for the music of Ladysmith Black Mambazo and knowing the music, it helped a lot. When we listened to the song for the first, why does Jeremy want us to come in and just mess up his song? But that was his wish.
Song is one thing, right? And it's such a beautiful song that I have really connected with in the most magical way. But then you came out with the music video, which really did add a whole new layer to it. It came out last week. I mean, it's wondrous display of everyone's colorful personalities is so beautiful to see. Please, Jeremy, tell us more about the message of the song and how this video visually is able to express that.
I think my big feeling with this music video was however we make it, it needs to just exude joy and lots of it, and it needs to make up for the lost ground. It feels when two bands who believe in unity come together and make something special to them.
We know that the music of Ladysmith Black Mambazo has really been able to create a unified South African heritage in its sound in a way that we're all able to connect with it no matter what culture we come from. Are you doing some interesting things from a music perspective, or are you just kicking back and relaxing this time around?
We have embarked on a journey to encourage people to vaccinate, going together with Department of Arts and Culture and Sports, going around the country, just encouraging people to vaccinate, because we believe and we can see, as Jeremy can see where he is in England, everything is opening up just because there's enough people who have vaccinated, because us as artists have been hit very hard by this pandemic, and the only solution for us to at least get some relief now is when everybody's all vaccinated, and then we can start doing our shows, going around the country and even going outside to tour. so that we can see our people.
I think that the message is loud and clear, and the reality of it all is that we all do miss the music. We miss connecting with both of you, with both your respective sort of bands in the way that you come up with music that really warms us all, right? And the message is clear, is let's go out and vaccinate so that we can get back to that. Thank you very much, gents, for joining us this morning. Congratulations on this fantastic collaboration. I know that it's going to inspire our nation, and it's certainly going to inspire the world in the most beautiful way. Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
I love it. That's Bong Shabalala of Ladysmith Black Mambazo and Jeremy Loops. As our lives are joined in song, as we enjoy this energetic and joyous jam, it's a wonderful reminder to embrace all of our amazing diversity. Take that message and march on with it.
Yeah, now we are still, of course, in the spirit of Heritage Month today, celebrating all the good stuff. So now's an opportunity for all of you, Mzansi, to sit back, relax, and enjoy the celebratory and hopeful beats presented to us by Jeremy Loops and Ladysmith Black Mambazo on this Town. Enjoy.
That is beautiful.
Oh, what a vibe, man.
I can imagine how special it would have been for Jeremy to be a part of that. And I love the fact that Ladysmith Black Mambazo,
look how
their vibe.
It's like a gender neutral kind of
those
vibe.
earrings, bro. Those earrings.
I think I need to change my style of so much to look forward to. Now, this song, This Town, can be found on Jeremy's new EP, Souvenirs, which is being released on Friday, the 8th of October. So, nothing more to do than get out there and go support some beautiful local music.
Download.
Yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are in the kitchen, and this is going to be blowing your mind because this dinner, it is made out of roasted trout, tender stem broccoli, some bulgur wheat with roasted butternut. It is quick and easy, and it is really packed with some delicious flavors. And the man to show us how to make this delicious recipe is the one and only Chef Clem Pedro.
Well, and my surname.
Yes, you get named and surnamed today.
ID number also 87.
Oh, wow.
This is such an easy dish. It's honestly how you're going to get dinner on the table in 15 minutes. I just see the crew. I need some salt.
Okay, we'll get you salt, but I have to talk about these tender stem broccoli.
Yes,
it is my favorite.
It is my favorite too, and that's why I need the salt. So, tender stem broccoli is exclusive to Woolies. We love it. We know it's been around for so long. And the reason I love it so much is because there's no waste. It's tender from the stalk all the way down, all the way up to the beautiful
flour. What do you call that?
I said cauliflower. It's Monday, guys. My brain hasn't woken up yet. Broccoli.
Broccoli head.
Also, the leaves, don't take them off. It's delicious. So there's no waste. You don't have to cut anything off. The whole thing goes into the pot. You can steam it. I've started using my bamboo steamer a lot. So you could steam it in a bamboo steamer, but also a great way is just a pot of boiling water. And here's what's important, salt. You have to add salt to the water. This is a chance to season the broccoli. So salt goes in.
Do you put a lot of salt like you would do rice?
The thing about vegetables, when you do cook it, you want a generous amount of salt. Remember, it's the salty water is going to remain there to get the veggies out. So I say just a little less than when you season rice. Rice actually does need a lot of salt.
Okay,
absolutely.
so not as much as you would with rice.
No. And then in we go with our tender stem broccoli. And here's the thing, do you like your veggies cooked?
I like it crunchy. It
Okay.
still needs to have an element of crunch. In fact, what would you call that? That is just like, I don't want to say
like the al dente of
al
vegetables.
dente,
Of vegetables.
yes.
But you still want it crunchy. So I like
Semi-raw, yeah.
Semi-raw. I like
medium
that too.
rare.
How do you want your veggies? Medium rare. Okay, so medium rare, tender stem broccoli, about 2 minutes. You'll notice as soon as you add the broccoli to the water stops boiling because the broccoli is cold. So you're adding something cold to the pot, it's going to drop the temperature of the water in the pot. So about 2 minutes is perfectly fine. There are those people that like their veggies softer.
Okay.
That's fine. They do probably go for about 5 minutes. When you start overcooking it, you're going to lose all the color and the nutrients, and you don't want that.
And then it becomes mushy.
No, baby food, no. So, just like that, that's doing its thing. Then, one of the tips that we didn't get to cover on Culinary Hotline was about cooking fish in a pan. And what do you do if you don't have a non-stick pan? Because that's a serious question, because then it'll kind of put people off cooking fish.
Yes.
Because they know they're going to destroy it. So, baking paper.
Okay.
Baking paper is such a versatile piece of, like, I'm going to say kitchen equipment.
Material.
Guys, it's Monday. My words are gone. Oh, my goodness.
You can make your own up.
Make your... Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do that. So, we're going to cut a piece of baking paper, and you don't want to use wax paper. Very important. Wax paper is wax lined, and it's just going to burn in the pan and make a mess. It's going to get stuck on your fish.
And you don't want that. No.
So, all you're going to do, this is a bit non-stick, but we're going to pretend it's not, okay? Take your baking paper, put it into the pan directly, all right? A little bit of oil onto the paper.
This is a nice handy hack because over the weekend, the place we stayed at didn't have a non-stick pan and we were a bit scared to fry eggs in it.
I get you.
So
because that's the worst, because then you also end up destroying, you destroy the eggs, plus the cleanup of that pan afterwards.
Horrible.
It's a no. Okay, so.
So we could have used this little hack.
Yes, you could have. And it works every time. If people, their minds get blown, the fact you can cook on baking paper.
I didn't know that.
So here we go, trout. First thing first, sustainable, always. So the trout's gonna go in, skin side down.
Sauce, there we go.
Skin side down. You can actually hear it sizzle.
You can.
You can.
Through the baking paper.
Through the baking paper. And then you want to give it a light bit of salt. So what you're going to do is, when you cook fish, for me, 3/4 of the cooking happens on the first side you put down on the pan. So you're going to get that skin nice and crispy, nice and golden. And then the last bit just goes over, turn it over about 30 seconds.
And then
that's it.
Take it out. And the secret is also not to fiddle with your fish. You leave it as is, because I've seen people fiddle. I've been one of them. And then you just break your fish.
And yeah, that's the worst part. And you end up making fish fricadelles with it. So don't do that. Just let it cook on its own. Fish is delicate, and you can break it easily. But the longer it cooks, the more structure it gets, and it'll hold its shape better. So we've got our tender stem broccoli, and I'm happy with those. I've got some ice water because I want to stop the cooking process, because they will continue cooking when you take them out the water.
Okay.
So you'll stop that by putting it in ice water, and it locks in that like green color.
Beautiful.
There we go. So that's done. The last part that I want to add to this dish, this is my convenience part. It's Monday. We've had a long weekend of braaiing and cooking. So today, I don't want to like stress anyone out. It's the bulgur wheat and the butternut salad. It's so delicious. It's all you need. So that goes to the microwave, and let's plate it up. So let's actually... Oh, we've got one plated up for us already.
Yeah, we do have one plated up. I love how they even suggested for you microwave for 2 minutes, and you just add your trout and your vegetables, which we're about to do right now. Yeah, it does that. Great mix.
As if we planned that. So it's so simple. And this also makes for an amazing lunch if you're back at the office, maybe even if you're working from home. Actually, if you're working from home, I find people tend to skip meals more working from home. They just keep on working straight through their lunch break. This is absolutely amazing, because like I said, it goes into the microwave so quickly, and you've got a wholesome, delicious lunch.
Oh, there we go. And it's quick and easy, and that's what we want. We're all about that convenience. If you missed any of the steps, we do have this recipe available for you. You can find it at woolworths.co.za. Chef Clem, I am so impressed with this cooking technique using baking powder.
Baking paper.
Baking paper.
Baking powder, you could...
Paper.
try it.
No, don't use baking powder. I meant baking paper.
Baking paper. It works every single time. You've got the beautiful crispy skin, never fail.
Oh, well, Chef Clem, it's great having you in studio, and it's nice to be back in the kitchen with you. Remember, you can get that recipe at woolworths.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Back from Mzansi, of course, we're celebrating everything that is Monday and that beautiful life that you've been blessed with. And here's another reason to do exactly that. Now, the hit song African Dream from his second studio album, Azai, was released in 1994, but it remains a favorite amongst locals. And what better song to sing for Hopetober to spread love and hope around the country? Now, here is an iconic Vicky Sampson with African Dream. Take it away. The stage is yours.
Good morning, Mzansi. Sometimes alone in the evening, I look outside my window at the shadows in the night. I hear the sound of distant cry, the darkness multiplying, and weary hearts deny. All I feel is my heartbeat, beating like a drum, beating with confusion. All I hear are the voices telling me to go, but I could never run, 'cause in is voor zon wegkwijnt. Wanneer wil ik blij? 'Cause in my African dream, you know, there's a new tomorrow. My African dream is a dream that we can follow. You know, though it would seem my hopes are an illusion, my African dream is an end to this confusion. For those of you where they are, signs of jazz. God bless Africa.
Vicky Sampson, honestly, one of those lyrics there where you looked at me and you literally uplifted my soul as well. And I think you did the exact same for Mzansi. I can't thank you enough for that. Mzansi, don't go anywhere, of course. Vicky's going to be performing in just a bit. And of course, another reminder, tune in tomorrow as well, because that Hopetober bus is leaving in and around the Marvelous City. And it's going to be an absolute treat if this is anything to go by. But, where's the show going? We're almost at the end of it, but we are going to do another roundup with Zoe, and she's here with the news. Let's check it out.
Thank you, Ral. It's 3 minutes after 8. Let's look at your national headlines. South African national parks have once again urged visitors to adhere to speed limits when traveling in the parks. This after a driver was arrested in the Kruger National Park near Punda Maria on Saturday night after hitting a cheetah. The cheetah killed was one of two brothers, which were a well-known attraction to the Punda Maria area. Speed limits in the Kruger Park are no higher than 50 kilometers an hour on tarred roads. Cheetahs are not only the world's fastest animals, but also the most endangered big cats in Africa. And staying with local news, deaths attributed to COVID-19 have decreased significantly, with only 51 people succumbing to COVID-related complications since the last reporting cycle, while less than 1,000 infections were reported in the same period. Meanwhile, provinces are warning residents about complacency as the long weekend ended with school holidays just a few days off. This comes after the Health Ministry said just under 30,000 people have been jabbed in the latest 24-hour reporting period. This is still far below the government's target of vaccinating 300,000 people daily. Moving to news abroad, Rwanda has been selected to host the 2025 UCI Road World Championships, cycling's world's governing body. The Union Cyclists International confirmed yesterday. It will be a first for an African nation. The Rwanda Cycling Federation said it was delighted to host the event in Kigali. It said the Rwandan capital would provide a magnificent backdrop for the event's first appearance on African soil. This year's event took place in Flanders, Belgium, with Julian Alaphilippe yesterday defending his world title. And staying with news abroad, Iceland yesterday made history by becoming the first European country to elect a female majority to parliament. 52% of the 63 seats were won by women. This marks an increase of 9 from the last election in 2017. No other European country has breached the 50% threshold, with Sweden coming closest at 47%. Iceland has long been considered a leader in gender equality, and earlier this year was ranked the most gender-equal nation in the world for the 12th year running in a World Economic Forum report. And next, some news of a pooch which may soon be taking some flying lessons from Dumbo. She's a sweet, sassy, smart, and now a record-breaking pooch. Now, the 3-year-old Lou, a black and tan American raccoon hound from Oregon in the USA, earned a Guinness World Record when each of her ears was measured at 35.5 centimeters in length. Paige Olson, Lou's owner, says she has always joked that Lou's ears are extravagantly long. However, it was during the pandemic that she decided to measure them. Surprisingly, the pooch's ears do not require any special maintenance because of the length, and Lou's ears have also not led to any medical complications. Olsen says she checks them once a month for cleanliness, and during winter she also adds a snood to keep them from dragging on the snow. Now, Olsen also says, and I quote, "Of course everyone wants to touch her ears. They're very easy to fall in love with after just one sighting." Well, maybe Lou will soon be taking some flying lessons from Dumbo himself. One of these days, we'll just have to wait and see. Well, on that very happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Here's a final look at your weather with Ryle.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Now, to start this weather report, we're looking at possibly a little warning for the country. And in Randwater in Gauteng, they've announced that the implementation of stage 1 water curtailments in an effort to slow the higher level of water consumption. Now, it said the hot summer months present a persisting challenge where usage increases, and various factors associated with usage have put a strain on the water system. Now, Randwater says South Africa is ranked as one of the driest countries in the world. However, the country continues to be amongst the highest consumers of clean water despite the limited availability of the resource. Now, Randwater also warns that the situation may worsen if consumers do not change their behavioral patterns and reduce the demand for water. Municipalities have also urged to immediately attend to leaks and manage the night flows through reservoir management protocols. Now, looking to our skies for more news, we of course couldn't start this week on the right note without sharing some of the stunning sunrise photos experienced by you, our viewers. And we're starting off this morning with Avril Roberts-Retief from Muizenberg, who captured this breathtaking photo overlooking the ocean, showing off these incredible, beautiful views spread across the sky. And then next we ventured a little further north up the coast to KZN, where Malt from Durban shared this great shot overlooking the Durban beachfront while enjoying the ocean view as the sun breaks through the cloud cover. Magic indeed. And then 7 a.m. was Barbara Ann Hall from Constantia who captured this breathtaking shot overlooking the area while showing off the stunning sky with colors scattered all throughout it. And last but not least, Razine Pandi from Mbecha took this beautiful silhouetted shot as the new day begins. What a way to start the day, Mzansi, and we can't thank you enough. Please keep sending in those pictures because not only me and not only the studio, but I think the rest of the world absolutely loves seeing how you start your day wherever you are in the world. Now, to look at the rest of the temperatures across the country, we're starting off in Polokwane where they have a low of 13 and a high of 28 degrees. Mbombela starts the day on 17, moving up to 32 degrees. And then in Pretoria, the day starts at 17, moving up to 28 degrees Celsius. In Joburg, the day starts at 16, moving up to 26 degrees for your maximum. And Mahikeng, very much similar with a low of 16 and a high of 31 degrees Celsius. And then in Klerksdorp, the day starts at 16, moving up to 32 degrees. Sunny skies can expect it all the way around. And much the same for Kimberley with a low of 13 and a high of 35 degrees for the day. And then in Bloemfontein, the day starts at 11 with a maximum of 33 degrees. And Richards Bay, the day starts at 20, moving up to 34 degrees Celsius. And a scorcher for Pietermaritzburg with a low of 14 and a high of 38 degrees Celsius. Sunny skies all the way around. And Durban, very similar, low of 19 and a high of 32 degrees. But Mthatha takes the cake once again with a low of 14, moving up to another beautiful scorcher at 38 degrees Celsius. And then moving over to East London, a low of 15 and a high of 26 degrees for the day, 9% chance of cloud cover. And then in Cradock, a low of 11 and a high of 35 degrees. In Mbecha, you can expect some rain with a 40% chance coming through, a high of 21 and a low of 14 for the day. And George, very similar with a 59% chance of rain, moving through from a low of 11 to a max of only 17 degrees for the day. And then Cape Town, very similar with a 20% chance of rain, an 11-degree low and a high of 18 degrees will be your temperature range. In Worcester, the day starts on a chillier 4 degrees, moving up to 20 with 40% chance of rain coming through. And Sutherland takes the cake once again with the chilliest start to the day at 3 degrees, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. And of course, last but not least, Uppington starts the day on 12, moving up to 32 degrees Celsius. And of course, you can also expect sunny skies all the way around. One more time from me, Mzansi, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your pictures this morning were absolutely beautiful. You got us kickstarted on our Monday, and you're to kickstart some of the fun and action as the rest of the team with Vixie Sampson. Let's check this one out.
Yes, we can't have Vicky Sampson in studio without having a little bit of fun with her. And of course, catching up just a little bit. She's absolutely one of our faves. My two kids were eating breakfast, watching your performance earlier, and you got 2 thumbs up. Food all over the place because they were dancing so wildly. So the generational link is there.
Hey,
how was your Heritage Day? Because you are like the keystone. That song is probably the most proud representation of our heritage, our modern South African heritage.
I know. I mean, I'm astounded that 26 years later, the song just continues to inspire me, you know. And I know there have been people all over the country probably that have said, oh my goodness, is she going to sing it again? But I mean, they wouldn't ask that of an international artist like George Benson, who sang on Broadway 5 million times. Why do they do it to us here in South Africa? Firstly, that's my first gripe. But where was I on Heritage Day? I was very blessed. I was in Hermanus.
Oh, beautiful.
I did a little performance there at a place called The Brewery, and an amazing woman called Renee Hartsleaf. She's like a little mini ambassador of the town, and we hung out, and then we ended up on Saturday, we went to this amazing restaurant called Creation. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's #1 in Africa, number 5 in the world.
Yes, we reported on it, yeah.
Oh, my word, what an experience
tough
that was.
Tough life, eh?
It was very tough.
Tough life, girl.
That was me on the Heritage Week.
Well, I know the vocal cords have already been put to like the ultimate test, but if you needed some soothing, we've got some tea. I don't know how you take it. I'm embarrassingly...
Just like that.
I would normally have like... I would have 5 sugars. You don't understand, but I feel too embarrassed to have 5 sugars.
No.
And I don't have sugar with my coffee. Can I ask you to pass that down to our Zoe?
I'll have some.
So
you have it.
You are sweet enough, and I'm hoping that you're going to be sweet enough to have a little bit of fun with us this morning.
I hope
we're going to play
fun.
a game that is either wonderful, or it strikes fear and terror into the heart of some people. I don't know how Zoe's feeling about this.
I've never played this game, funny enough. It's always Jamie Lee. She's always on the hot seat. I've always wanted to play it because, you know, when you're off camera, you get...
It's so easy,
You know it, and it's easy peasy, but I can't believe I'm
dear.
up against Vicky.
I know, with an encyclopedic knowledge of music. So this is the game we're playing. It's called Music Match. I'm going to give you a word, and you have to sing a song, a line from any song that includes that word. Okay, it can be chorus, can be... The most important thing is that you sing it and we believe it. And now what Jamie normally does is she makes up songs. She makes up a gospel song and I'm like, okay, that must be a song.
Yeah.
So feel free to do that. If you sing it convincingly enough, I'll give you the point. That's the bottom line. Zoe, you and I, we're proud. We sing. We do our karaoke together, and we give it stick. But you know, I'm hoping that you're going to rise to the occasion. So, are you up for it? Are you there?
Well, I'm here. You put me here, so I guess
you don't have a choice.
Can I leave now?
No.
Doesn't. Unfortunately, there is no escape. So the first word, and I'm going to throw it to you, Vix. You can soften those vocal cords first up. The first word that I need you to sing in a line of any song is fire.
Fire, I'm driving in your car. You turn on the radio. You're pulling me close. I just say no.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I love
that took a little while. It's a bit scary, you know.
I liked your psych up, your...
No, I was trying to think of a song.
I love that,
I know,
man.
it's tricky.
This one should be an easy one, okay? Stop.
Stop. Don't stop moving. DJ's got us grooving. Na, 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 na. Round,
is that an official? No, official word. No, that's a good effort. So that's a good start. I'll give you stop 1 point each. This one should be really easy.
Okay.
Because you sing with it. Your heart. Heart.
Oh, my word.
Can I help you?
Yes, please.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Oh, my word.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Don't go if I tried.
Oh, honey, if I get restless, baby, you're not that kind.
Lovely. I'm going to give you a half a point each because that was just so lovely.
You see?
Zoe, believe.
Believe. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing.
Woo, I love it. I love it. Time is up.
I think that's
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That would have been a good one, actually.
About to really...
That would have been a good one. Zoe, can you believe it? Your first outing, you represented. The victory goes to Zoe Brown. Clearly being in the movies has worked. You're an absolute superstar. Thank you for playing along. Thank you for being here. We adore you, and we love the fact that you are forced to sing My African Dream whenever we see you, because we absolutely adore it. No, it's amazing, and being able to watch you perform it is a special privilege.
It's
so
always
thank you so
special
much.
being here with you guys. And this, I must just say to South Africa, this is the most incredible team that I've ever met. So every time I have the opportunity to come onto the Expresso stage and sit, it's just incredible. I love you guys, and keep up the brilliant work.
Don't go breaking my heart. Thank you so much. Vicky Sampson is here. We are so proud to have her on this stage, and don't you dare move a muscle. We've got one more exciting and very special performance from Vicky Sampson heading your way. Get an insurance quote for your home or car and stand a chance to win one of 8 Samsung Galaxy S21 phones plus 100 gigs of Standard Bank mobile data for a year. To enter, SMS the keyword motor to 31492 to get a call back and quote, and you could be a winner.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are indeed with your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Time to get even more feel good. Working with materials that I think are considered industry waste by many, such as mining core, unrecycled wood, even granite. Joburg-based visual artist and innovator is the best way to describe her. Hanali Kutsia creates ecological and thought-provoking artwork that is celebrated throughout the country, understandably so. And she is in the Cape right now for an outdoor sculpture exhibition taking place in Stellenbosch, and we've invited her and some of her creations into studio. Hanali, so good to have you here.
Great, thanks for having me. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Who is this? Who is this beautiful? Is it a, I'm picking up a feminine vibe.
Absolutely, you know, hyenas are matriarchal. So
yes.
She's absolutely female, yeah.
And she's a hyena. Well, look, we're going to get into a little bit of that in a bit, but let's go back to your art. Of course, it's inspiring, it's thought-provoking, but what exactly is the philosophy behind it? And I don't know, would you describe it a medium that you're expressing yourself? I don't know if that's the right question, but I'm sure you can tell us more.
Please, and we want to go deep here, so go deep.
Oh my goodness, that intro was so deep already. So I like to sort of make sense of things. I really am a digger. And when I try and figure things out, material that's wasted that really irks me. So I try and sort of work with ecological thoughts. Like earlier you were saying, Rael, that we've got to change our water habits.
Yeah.
So when you say it, like, how do you actually change it? Like, what do you have to do, you know? So I try and create opportunity where things like that can change through artworks. So I don't know if that's deep enough, but
it's what we hear for. I would love to see more of it, yeah, man.
That's the aim, sort of the approach that I've got, is to try and figure out how do you do it and how to use art to do that.
Beautiful.
Then, is there a concurrent, because obviously the hyenas are front and center stage, and beautifully so with this. Do you try to build a narrative with an exhibition? Is it each individual piece comes to you as an inspiration? How do you go about building what we are able now to see as a part of an exhibition in Stellenbosch currently? How do you approach something like that? And when do you know you've reached a point where you're ready, okay, let's release these babies to the world?
I think it's a combination of things, but I suppose you got to sort of, I had to learn to listen. I wasn't a good listener, and I think a world with less egos is a friendlier world and a more sort of accepting world. And I think if we create a space where people can not compete with ego and fight for it, it's more comfortable, and I think the art world is not always so comfortable. So that's why I often work outside. So the sculpture exhibition at Stellenbosch, what's wonderful about it, so they have a trust, and then every second year there's a biennial exhibition, and we make work. So 8 artists were invited this time to make specific work, and each person have their own idea of what to do. But because it's outside, it's pretty COVID friendly, and it's challenging, but it also creates a space where you listen as much as you contribute your artwork. And so what often happens on the spot, like when I first did, I'm doing an engraving in Stellenbosch outside on a farm, but when I first did that kind of engraving, I had to open my ears up to the street to hear what's going on around me, and the artwork was actually a response to what was going on in the street.
Oh, wow.
So you've got to sort of think in the moment when you're working in public.
I love that. Let's talk about this moment right here, because every time I look at it, it's literally blowing me away, because I'm seeing like crutches. At first, it just looked like art, but now I'm seeing deeper into this. And this was something that was displayed at the 2018 Watershed exhibition that was held at Wits University as well. what is the concept behind this beautiful, let's call it a creature? This
What is she feeling
artist?
right
Yeah,
now?
I mean,
What do you think? With those, the tongue hanging out or whatever. No, I think when I first started with the hyenas, I heard a story that the hyenas followed the green corridors through the city, and this hit the news. But just somewhere like Krugersdorp Times or whatever. It wasn't like the big...
It wasn't national.
Yeah. But what really was interesting is that they actually are these very curious creatures that go and follow the green, like we should. And our rivers are completely contaminated and suppressed in Joburg. It's completely canaled up and it stinks. I've been on a field trip with the Joburg water guys, and we went under to go look at it. Like in a dry season, we went down to have a look at the Yixkay Eye. So we took a sample and actually tested it, and the Yixkay River Eye is not contaminated. So that for me was a complete breakthrough in my career. So it's not only about making the work, but it's about where the work takes me. And on this exhibition, I took people on walkabouts. So we walked the watershed. I don't know if you know, but through Joburg is the intercontinental watershed. So like from the Braamfontein Hill, everything north goes into the the sun.
Wow.
Everything south goes into the Indian Ocean. And that watershed is in Joburg.
Oh, wow.
So that high ground where the water then sheds is the green belt, pretty much, where these hyenas actually find their own route. And this really happens still in this day and age. So I thought that was really deeply inspiring to learn from nature and then to really make work that relates to that.
I understand that this cheeky, beautiful hyena, because she is cheeky, there's something cheeky about that tongue sticking out here. This is going to stay here?
Yeah. No, you guys.
Welcome, girl.
So
welcome, girl.
We did a wonderful exchange, and she is staying.
Oh, thank you so much. It's going to be a constant reminder to us. It's a connection to our planet, to our beautiful country. What you've just told me about that watershed, there's something, a deeper significance in that. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for this beautiful, beautiful piece. We really...
It's completely made out of waste. Everything there is picked up.
Oh, absolutely. Hanley, you are a superstar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, feeling very inspired, it's time to colour your life with Plascon. Now, we asked you what colours you find soothing and where you would use it in your own home, and you could win yourself the 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher. Now, we received incredible entries, but there can only be one winner. Now, before we find out who is that lucky winner, we're going to take a quick look at some of the comments that we received on social media. So the first one that came through was from Kubashni. She says, I like light colours. I would choose a light shade of grey to use in the bedrooms. The colour would make the room brighter and more soothing. Hashtag the Plascon lifestyle. Absolutely incredible. Avisha says, I would love to go bold with sea blue in my son's room with an ocean theme that will be relaxing and have a therapeutic effect on my little one. How incredible. And then a comment came through from Natalie that says, I am very fond of all shades of green at the moment. I would do a lighter shade of lime green. This would be used to paint the lounge where we all come together to relax. Hashtag the Plascon lifestyle. Well, it is looking so incredible, and just hearing which colors inspire you to relax, I think it's time for us to announce our lucky winner. Can I get a drum roll, please? Congratulations, Marlene Thompson. Now, this is what Marlene said. She said, I would choose grey. I just love the colour. I will use it in my lounge. It will look very nice. And we also have Marlene on the line right now. Good morning, Marlene.
Good morning. How are you?
You know what? I cannot complain, but I think you are so incredibly lucky. Congratulations on winning yourself that Plascon voucher. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I can do a lot with it. Thank you.
I can imagine. Is there anything in particular you're planning to do immediately with your 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher?
Yes, I actually need it immediately because I just renovated my home.
Okay.
So I will use it immediately.
Oh, well, I hope you get to send us some pictures. We would love to see some after pictures after you've renovated your home. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Oh, there we go. That was Marlene Thompson winning herself that 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher. And now for all of our lucky viewers watching at home right now, you also stand the chance to win a 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher. All you have to do is reply to the competition post on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram and tell us, what DIY painting project are you most proud of? Don't forget to include the hashtag Plascon, the Plascon lifestyle. And the competition closes tomorrow. That's Tuesday, the 28th of September at midnight. And T's and C's can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com. All I'm going to say is good luck.
Join Expresso this spring to stand a chance of winning a 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher weekly as we ask how you colour your life. Is it the cherry red in your ride, maybe the burst of new blues from your garden, or the sunsets and seascapes of a favourite getaway? Well, answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Then colour your life with 4,000 Rand paint vouchers to be won all spring on Expresso.
Sing a happy song, you say, but do you know how I really feel? Sing a happy song, you say, but do you care to see the real me? I'm gonna slow this one down. I hope you don't mind, 'cause baby, here's my heart on my sleeve. This isn't enough. I want more than this. God knows I've tried, gave you more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, Mzansi. Now we were chatting to a superstar artiste, and the process of back recovery was something that was included, and it's consistent exercising and stretching that makes it so much more effective, safe, and fast for recovery. Well, now you will most likely experience some discomfort when you begin your exercises after surgery, but the muscles in your back can become weak and result in limited movement if they are not done, which could result in the recovery process taking even longer. So, number one is to remember to always consult your doctor or physio about the best and safest exercises to do depending on what type of surgery you had. But Hanli is here to explain to us exactly what her process was and also how easy it is to do some of these stretches. So I've taken my shoes off. I'm still in some of my work here, so it's really that easy. There's no real excuse for this. And Hanli, I believe you did also have a back operation 4 months ago, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And 4 months later, you had your first hike in a beautiful section of Stellenbosch. So yeah. I think it's such an inspiring story nonetheless to show people coming from that 4 months later, you have the ability to use this beautiful vessel to do such incredible things like hiking, which is a phenomenal physical and mental experience. So I think I'm very excited for you to share with Mzansi your process and one or two of these exercises so that the rest of the world can also do it and maybe take advantage of the beautiful ability to heal that we have within inside of us, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so yeah, my shoes are off. We've got a
Great,
mat here,
thanks.
something simple like a chair or anything else is needed.
Yeah, I think let's do this one first because
Cool.
it's nice and high. So
All right.
yesterday on the mountains,
Yeah.
we were put it on the front here.
Okay.
We were walking about 9 kilometers, quite a bit up, and then I thought I better start stretching because,
Okay.
you know, these muscles have not worked so much and they're not used to this kind of movement. So the
And they like to move, and that's something that's quite important. Like our muscles do like to move. The body likes to move as well. That warms it up, gets the blood flowing, and it allows for promotion of recovery. So spot on right there.
So I first tried lying flat on the grass and looking at the sky, and that wasn't enough. But my fabulous physio, Sam, she's shown me all the tricks.
All right,
so basically what
first?
you do is you stretch your spine as much as you can out and hold on to something.
Okay.
And then you just keep stretching in deeper, so it goes right into your bum, into your... How lekker is that? Go lower.
Yeah.
Drop your shoulders a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, that kind of stretch just really relieved it yesterday.
Ooh, I must just say the entire posterior chain is actually getting some good stretching, because even in the glute, a little bit of the hamstring, if you have tightness there, Mzansi, you might feel that too right now. But this is definitely a great one for the lower back. I can definitely feel it.
So you can hold it for like a good 30 seconds and try and go deeper and deeper as you go. I mean, obviously the natural thing that usually is done in exercise is
hanging down.
Toes and but I just find going forward is even better for the lower back.
Oh, that's nice. And it's almost like I would imagine if you had a nice stationary object to utilize there, you could almost kind of pull and just get that extra stretch. Feeling a little bit alive already. All right, what's the next one?
Well, so, I mean, there were lots of exercises that I obviously had to do to make it stronger in the beginning, which was just really sort of steps up and down like this, you know. A lot of sort of elastic bands, but also because I didn't have feeling in my foot, my left foot.
Oh, yes.
I had to do a lot of barefoot walking.
Yes,
so,
to
and
get
it's
that
so
proprioception back again,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So all my godkids would come by and we'd just play in midwinter outside in the sun.
I think it's also important to note that I've also experienced something like this, and it's very much associated with that sciatic nerve, which is from the lower back, draws down all the way through the glute, all the way into that big pinky toe. So often if you are sitting for long periods of time or compromising that muscle, that that nerve, you do experience some of that tingling sensation. So maybe as an example, if you are experiencing that, it might be a good sign to go and seek professional help from a doctor or a physician or someone that is qualified.
Any subtle numbness, please go immediately.
And that's something that you experienced, right?
It was an emergency in my case, and that was the subtle numbness was the red flag. Like, you got to go for surgery tonight.
Nice. So let's get on to moving, because now we're at the point where we can move and alleviate that pressure. So what do we got for that?
I mean, you know, we were just doing lots of squats right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, those straightforward squats. And it was actually quite tricky to keep your balance when your spine is not completely healed.
And it's cool because it also forces the core to work, right? Now, you mentioned one pose which you wanted to finish with, which is something that was a favorite, and it's a favorite of mine too. So maybe we can take Mzansi through it.
I absolutely love it because it's not only exercise and stretching, it's also, it centers you. So it's the child's pose.
It's a beautiful one. It's an opportunity to reconnect. It's an opportunity to just get back to the
and
basics.
do it outside on the grass.
Okay. All right. So we're in the kneeling position. What's next after this?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I do it like this. Just make sure nothing hangs out.
Right. Oh, okay. So my child's pose is normally with wide legs, but I like this because it's obviously causing more of a stretch in the lower back, as you can see right now. So while I try to attempt that as well, I'll just knock my head. Don't knock your head on the floor, but try to raise it down to the ground as much as you can. And I'm noticing that, wow, a very, very good stretch in the lower back. I think the fact that the hips aren't spread apart here forces more of an eccentric load on that posterior chain down in the lower back. Hanli, I can't thank you enough for this. You've more than an inspiration, more than an artist, but you're also someone that's just given us, and I think Mzansi, hope, the fact that the body does such incredible things, not only mentally but physically as well. And I think you embody such a beautiful blend of the two. So thank you for sharing your time with us this morning. And Mzansi, thank you for joining us. And hopefully your lower back isn't in too much pain, but if it is, obviously try some of these stretches or seek some help from a professional. Thank you so much. I think it's this one.
Simple as CBD should be.
Maynard's, it's a juicy kaboom!
Kaboom! You know what time it is, of course, and we love making our viewers winners. So we at it again with crazy, awesome cash prizes up for grabs for you, Mzansi. So why not join us as we'll be playing the Juicy Kaboom game with Maynard's every Friday for the next 3 weeks. And yes, you heard right. That's 3 more chances for you to win big, just like we did last week with that 3,000 Rand swish.
Oh, amazing. Now, this week, Maynard's competition, the question for you to answer is, now to enter, go to the Expresso Facebook and Twitter pages and comment on this week's competition post and tell us, when do you like having Maynard's sweets?
I'm sure it's going to be always.
Easy question. Now, let's quickly recap on how this game works. We will have one lucky viewer on our show via video, and they will be asked to select a presenter to play the Maynard's hashtag
That's when you choose me.
Kaboom
That's when you
game.
choose me.
So let's say we choose Ryle. Then, as you can see in front of us, we have different buckets with different values attached to it. So you have 500, 1,500, 3,000, and these are all the values you can potentially win if Ryle gets the ball in for you. But you have to be careful. There's also a booby trap. And if the ball goes into the booby trap, you don't know what the producers will make us do.
We're going to get punished, though. We might have to do something crazy, but don't worry about that. If you choose me, look how simple it is. Let's go for another 3,000 just in front of the
Let's see if you can aim for 3,000.
Let's see how good we are today. I'm feeling lucky, people. Woo!
Oh,
Okay,
you're going for that one.
It was close, it was close. One more try, one more try, one more try. Come on. Okay, maybe don't choose Ryle. Maybe you should choose
Maybe
Zoe
I should
for
try.
this one.
Maybe I should try. What number are we going for? Obviously,
I don't know. Go big,
everyone
go
wants
big.
to win 3,000.
3,000. Woo! Almost had it. Almost there. Okay, maybe don't choose Zoe.
We need to practice.
But look, Mzansi, it's as simple as that. For you to stand a chance to play the Maynard's Juicy Kaboom game live here right on air this Friday. And to enter, you've seen how simple it is. All you got to do is visit the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page and comment on the Maynard's competition post of the week and tell us, when do you like having your Maynard's sweets? Now, don't forget, you got to use the hashtag Juicy Kaboom. And we could be calling you this Friday to play and win big, big prizes. And don't forget, the T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com, and the competition runs until Friday, the 24th of September, 2021. And we're almost out of balls, so don't worry, it's going to go in when you phone. This is just a warm-up, so don't worry about this. We're practicing on the big day. We got you.
It's a juicy kaboom! Maynard's, it's a juicy kaboom!
I'm having very interesting chats with Hanley this morning. What a dynamic person, and she's brought the coolest energy into our space, and now she's going to cook for me. That's the final box ticked. We're in the kitchen with our very special guest this morning, visual artist and innovator Hanley Kutsia, and she is here to show us a recipe that she absolutely adores, that she makes at home, and she promises is really quick and simple, which is ticking another box for me. I've recently gotten into curries as a great way of introducing a healthier eating option. It lends itself to very flavorful vegetable recipes. And often when we go veg, we often kind of think that you're going to lessen the flavor, or it's going to be boring, that you don't get that punch. But this, looking at the amount of spices going in there, is going to pack a punch. So talk us through what we're making this morning.
Sure. So it's my favorite chickpea curry. It's Patrick Holford made it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I've been making it for about a decade, maybe a bit more. So I've got my own spin on it with other things that sort of come and go. But the basics are really to, get a little bit of oil going.
I mean, I've relied. Patrick Holford was part of. I think that was at the Real Meal Revolution. Was the first kind of big shift in my thinking and approach to food and dealing with whole.
Which is a bit hot here. I'm just going to put it down a little.
Go.
Yeah. So this is a trick that I actually learned from Jamie Oliver. That's a bit wild.
Release the aromas.
Take it off
there we go.
Sorry.
No, it wouldn't be a day in our kitchen without some healthy aromas and smoke permeating.
The magic with frying the tomato sauce before the onion is that it really actually what did Jamie Oliver say? It's like a base, just so it's like the first sort of flavor that goes into it. But you caramelize it almost.
I love that.
Because and it's not as fast as this, but...
no, for sure. And I think that's vital with the curry is you've got to layer the flavors.
Yeah.
You've got to infuse the oil with the flavor that you want to permeate through the dish. So I get that.
Great. So this is the garlic, eh?
Okay.
I'll put that in afterwards.
Garlic paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I make this within like 10 minutes max.
Boom.
The
Love
simmering
that.
and everything. So the onions can just go for a little bit, like 2 or 3 minutes or so. The very important thing is the chickpeas, you have to really, really rinse them.
Okay.
That takes a bit of the flesh rinse away.
Okay, get that,
So you
the
don't
starch out.
bloat afterwards. The juice that it lies in is it what bloats you.
Bloats you, the aquafaba or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for your potula, guys.
It's okay.
Okay, and then the spices go in. So just give it a minute to settle, and then you basically just hoy everything. That looks like the right amount of salt, not so much pepper.
You can season to taste as you like it. But again, I think it's vital, especially with curries, that you do roast off, you cook those flavors right from the outset.
But very quick, you know, this doesn't need to take long. Right, that looks good. So that can go then like that. So then this, let it go for a little bit longer, but I'm going to add, let me just taste this.
And you should taste as you go.
Yeah, it's still crunchy. I like veggies crunchy.
They must still have a bit of backbone, yeah.
So just
Get
very,
that.
very briefly. And then you basically just heat this up. This doesn't need to be fried or anything.
It doesn't need to be fully cooked. Great.
Yeah, it's already cooked. So, and that's already starting to take shape, color-wise, flavor-wise. It's all actually, the frying is in the first 2-3 minutes, and then you just heat everything through together.
Brilliant.
That's why it's so quick.
Let those flavors properly infuse.
So this is about a half a liter, hey? Yeah, 2 cups. So I'm going to just sort of gauge it.
You don't want it to be too liquid.
Yeah, you
too
want
runny,
it to be a little bit sort of juicy. And then this can go on quinoa or on rice, or you can have it for lunch the next day.
Oh, a little goes a long way as well. I absolutely love that. You can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. It's been perfected over the years, a brilliant, brilliant way to introduce veg. But this is free of so many of the kind of the usual suspects. I love the fact that this is so wholesome and healthy, and that it comes together literally
Very
in
easy.
minutes. Yeah.
Then the magic ingredient that thickens it is just ground almonds.
Oh, wow.
And I usually put a lot more than this, so it's quite a paste. But if you don't have ground almonds, you can put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or tahini, anything nutty that's nut-based.
And just going to
and just
thicken
add
and
that.
add that flavor profile. Absolutely
And that just
beautiful.
thickens it naturally without any funny, unhealthy.
Yeah, for sure. Additives. I absolutely love that.
And this then can
easy
sit
peasy.
for a day or 2,
And the
and you
flavors are
can
only
eat
going
it
to
as you need.
improve.
I usually make it at least 3 times the quantity, give it to some neighbors.
People
so
can
on.
smell it from next door, those aromatics, and they come and they ring the doorbell and they get their absolutely delicious curry. I love it. It's veggie, it's beautiful, and it's kind of an expression of you. So,
And you can add some greens on it. Coriander goes really well with it.
beautiful punch of flavor. Honey, thank you so much for
You're
blessing us with your energy and your light, and of course a beautiful, beautiful sculpture as well.
You're very welcome.
It's now the agony of deciding where we're going to put that beautiful piece, but here is an opportunity for you to try something slightly different. Go the veggie route, but don't skimp on any of the flavor. This is absolutely beautiful. Find it on expressoshow.com.
Great.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3, and you are back just in time because earlier we heard Vicky Sampson sing with her magical voice, African Dream, the song that really inspires a nation to become a unified, and it's in fact, it is our unofficial anthem. But it is a beautiful song, and today she joins us again in studio to perform her new single, This Isn't Enough. Vicky, this is a powerful song. I know that there's also a very special message to it. Mark Lottering actually wrote this song. What does this song mean to you?
Thank you for asking. Yes, Mark Lottering composed the song, and earlier this year he collaborated with me in studio. It was just an act, such a miraculous act, how everything came together. It's essentially touching on gender-based violence issues and how to step into being oneself without fear of offending or being offended, and just to be strong and rise up and stand up for what one believes in. So absolutely the song registered with me because I believe 2021 has been that year where I'm stepping into being the best that I can be.
And doing so with bravery.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. It takes a lot of bravery and courage to do that, to step outside of an abusive relationship, wherever it comes from.
Definitely. Well, I think let the music do the talking. Vicky, your voice is incredible, and I cannot wait to hear. This is the song, This Isn't Enough.
Thank you, dear.
Sing a happy song, you say, but do you know how I really feel? Sing a happy song, you say, but do you care to see the real me? I'm gonna slow this one down. I hope you don't mind, 'cause baby, here's my heart on my sleeve. This isn't enough. I want more than this. God knows I've tried, gave you more than my best. This isn't enough. I need so much more. See me walk out the door. This isn't enough. Try to make it work for us, my darling. Oh, so much more than you know. Second, third, and fourth, and fifth. How many times can I give it a go? Sometimes you just know what you feel when the truth is too real. It breaks my heart to say this to you. This isn't enough. I want more than this. God knows I've tried, gave you more than my best. This isn't enough. I need
Samson, please take another bow. You beautiful human being. Thank you so much for blessing us this morning. And you can come and join us on the couch here, Vex. Absolutely beautiful. I really think that those of you who are going to be enjoying the Hopetober performances here in Cape Town as the next stop are in for a special treat. Hanli, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us such a beautiful addition to our studio
That's
as well.
a nice side of Cape Town to see.
Oh man, we have loved today's show. So we welcome back, girl. We'll see you live again, same time, same place tomorrow. Have an amazing day and don't forget, we love you. Mwah.
Here's to the season of sunny breakfasts, healthy lunch breaks in the great outdoors, and romantic sunset dinners. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.